guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Holy smokes. Look at the freaking comments over here, guys. Hear me? Can you guys hear me? Woo. All right. All right. Everyone's filing in here. Everyone's filing in. All right, guys, as you know, this is going to be, all right, before we get everything, go ahead and starting. As you guys know, it's about to be a popping show, guys, but let's do a sound check real quick. I want to see you guys in the chat, all right? Do I come off loud, all right? I want to make this right, guys, okay? Because, you know, guys, here's the thing. I do, unlike most people, pay attention to feedback, and I take them with stride and honesty, okay? So I want to try to make sure the mic is going to be leveled out because I know certain if people come in, my mic could probably be a little bit dominant. So right now it's just me, but once we start getting more people in, then that way we can figure out how that shit rumbles. But yeah, we got a damn good show today. As we wait for people to file in, you guys know what it is. You know that this is the time. If you got any questions, anything you want to address, now is the time to do it before the show gets started. Other than that, feel free to go ahead and follow us on Instagram or go ahead and super chat us, all right? And we'll get that read. We got the chat synced up right now, so it's going to be synced up to the streaming platform, so your super chat would be played. But let's get this moment to go ahead and shout out some people, man. Primal Studies in the house. Shout out. Alicia. Hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? How you doing, girl? You quite popular over there, man. Shout out to you. I'm still waiting on that phone call, so let's go ahead and make that happen. We're going to have a call-in session at the end of the day, so we want to make sure that those of you guys who want to call in, have a chance to have a conversation, feel free to do so, all right? Vega, what is up? I've noticed you around the chat, man. And y'all don't think I pay attention. I pay attention to who's following and who's not, man. So I appreciate you. You're always active. I see you out there. Zenkura, I was a little bit off about you for a second, bro. But like you seem pretty cool. You're welcome to the family. I love you. Who else is here, man? Tristan Davis. Duke, what Nigerian state are you from? Anambra State. Anambra State is where I'm from. All right. So that's where I am in Nigeria. So those of you guys sent some Instagram messages about the whole situation going on with mediocre reviews, tutorials and reviews. All right. And MTR, essentially the whole situation going on, and you're asking if I'm going to do a video to it. I'm just going to lay it out right here. I'm not going to do that. It's not because, you know, I don't respect the guy. I respect all the work he's done. I respect, you know, him being able to put out the messages that he's been putting out into the space and helping young men. However, look, man, we joke around and say we're clout chasers over here and stuff like that. But when it comes to stuff that's that serious, I'm not going to just go ahead and talk about somebody's situation for views. I'll leave that to the other platforms who actually know him personally on a personal level. Because if I actually knew him on a personal level, I'd prefer a phone call, a personal phone call or a personal message rather than just making a video about it, wishing people well. So that's just how I am. I don't like to talk about people's health situation or things like that. So if you want to know my thoughts on it, it's sad. He's going to get through it, I know, but I'm not going to make a whole video about it. But that being said, doesn't mean that next week content ain't gonna be fire though, because we're gonna have some shit, and we're gonna be exposing a lot of y'all females out here, starting with tomorrow's video. Actually, y'all, ladies, I'm not sure if you're gonna like me after this one, because some of y'all out there, I'm not saying y'all ladies in the part of the Duke and Don family, okay? I'm not talking about you guys, because at least you guys are sensitive enough to listen, but I'm talking about there's a bunch of women out there, man, that are, man, they straight they on demon mode right now. It's crazy, man. They straight finessing this dude. So we got to go ahead and call these people out and make sure that the messaging is just about right, all right? So we're equal opportunity call outs over here, all right? Any other questions? Does anyone that want to go ahead and ask right now while we're waiting? Anything? All right. Looks like we're ready to go over here. Let's do this. Allende, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
How you doing, man? Man, today's gonna be a spectacular one, because right now, when that video dropped, first of all, how you doing, man? How you doing, brother? I don't want to just get right to the show. How you feeling, man?
I'm chilling.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you dropped a 2-parter recently, all right? And and I watched both of them, okay? And they revealed quite a bit. Matter of fact, it revealed a bunch of knowledge that I don't think a lot of people really knew. what was going on. So I thought, you know what? Since I did a reaction video to it, and more people were asking after that video, hey man, like what the heck is going on? Like they're not really, too fond of it. So I thought, well, it would be a great thing to have you on here and basically break down this video, all right? And see, let's go ahead and open it up and see what's really going on there. But before we go ahead and get started, man, you got anything to add?
No, man. You just run the tape, man.
Let's run the tape. All right, let's go ahead and do this. All right, let's go ahead and do this.
The CDC terms that will define that as grape
So
or SA.
We're gonna skip a lot of these here real quick. We want to get to the meat of it. Can you guys hear all right?
Go ahead and just let you basically tell your story. I know you're shy, you know what I mean?
Let me know if the audio is good, guys.
But just go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you've been dealing with, in the last 4 weeks, so to speak.
Do I have to start from the beginning?
Usually stories are better, easier to understand when they start from the beginning, unless you're a wicked director, but start from the beginning.
So basically, I was invited to go on the podcast by a friend that lives here, and I went. I didn't really want to go. It didn't feel like a good environment for me to be in, but I went anyway.
Why did you feel that it wasn't a good environment for you to be in? Like, where does that thought process come from just being invited to?
I had no problem with coming out earlier.
Frank, it was this close coming out.
Yeah, facts.
This close coming out.
Facts.
So
it was real close.
Coming out, what's that mean?
It means that when he comes out, people leave.
Okay, then that can happen if you guys want it to.
It's not gonna happen. Don't worry about it.
I mean, listen, if you want to get out, if you want to leave, you could.
Do you want me to leave?
He
Okay,
doesn't want you to leave. He doesn't want you to leave. He doesn't want you to leave. Relax.
Kaylee,
Chat,
okay.
What do you guys think? Chat, what do you guys think?
We let y'all decide.
Yeah, we'll let the chat decide on this 100K celebration. What do you guys
Kind of a
think?
masochist.
So put a 1 in the chat if you want Frank Castle too, if you want to say.
I mean, my thing is, we've been said we lost, right?
Jeez,
We've
man.
been said we lost, right?
I was like, we lost. Whatever.
That's what you
Yeah. All right, please get the fuck out. You guys have been wild and disrespectful, so just get out. People don't want to hear no more.
Because I watched a few episodes beforehand, and I didn't really like the way that a particular host
That Frank Castle shit is weird, man. And it's just knowing like the whole Punisher thing after all this shit went down is crazy.
I mean, it's just crazy that they. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
they vote the girls off to entertain
part of why
these
I
lame
wanted
ass
to do
subs.
this interview is because
This shit childish as shit.
Oh, you want me to keep going?
Oh yeah, man. I'm just saying the fact that they be doing that whole vote the girls off shit is just that shit's just lame as fuck.
It never made any sense. So what were we because what I want to know is, because in this interview, I mean, matter of fact, let's go ahead and keep going through it, because you're gonna go into some points here in a second, and then we'll go ahead and address some of this stuff and kind of break down all sides here. But let's go ahead and do this,
because I feel partially responsible for some of the things that have been happening as of late, as far as the negative experience that these women have been having. Because truth be told, it was my idea to structure the podcast in that way. You know what I'm saying? And to center it around interviewing groups of women.
So you're a man taking accountability.
I've never had a problem taking accountability.
Amazing.
I mean, I didn't grow up with the luxury of being able to dodge responsibility, bro.
Amazing.
Basically, it definitely wasn't my intention for the women to be interviewed with the agenda that podcast goes with. You know what I'm saying? I had a vision. It's not my podcast. You know what I'm saying? I don't call the shots. But I got them to buy into the idea simply because it was working. It was lucrative. It was very entertaining. And that's where the majority of the views came from. So, I mean, anybody that wants to question that claim, I mean, you ain't got to take my word for nothing. Just do a little bit of fucking research. Look at dates. You know, I got involved with these dudes in January. They was doing the podcast several months prior to that. So you just look at what they were doing October of 2020 all the way up to January of 2021. It's not hard to see, you know what I'm saying, the course change. You know what I'm saying? So I went from just these two dudes, you know, talking shit about quote unquote red pill philosophy and female nature and giving their take on the modern dating market. I think it's a childish take on it. It's an immature take on it. But these dudes aren't necessarily experienced and they're not wise. These guys are just coming up on 30. With very little dating experience throughout their 20s in high school. You know what I'm saying? So it's safe to say they didn't really have these experiences with women, but they are students of the so-called red pill philosophy, which could be very negative. It could be very toxic because this is the thing. I mean, in any area of life, right? You can have data, you can have statistics, you can have so-called quote unquote facts, but it's still going to be up to the interpretation of the reader, of the consumer. How do you consume this information? Right? How do you interpret it?
Not to cut you off, I think there's a human aspect to it that I think a lot of people ignore. So like you said, if you're strictly data-based and you're computer-driven, it's almost impossible to get an accurate reading of how someone would react to something if you're ignoring the human aspect of it, if you're ignoring the psychological and physiological things that go into,
that's what I'm saying,
you know, how people interact, you know, just the social environment of humans, period. So I get what you're saying.
Right. You want my mic or his mic? Pause.
Even I paused when he said, I was like, oh. So I went on the podcast against my better judgment because I gave them my word. Normally, if I give my word, I keep it. So I got up there and they hand you like what's that form?
The release form?
Your release form?
Which was also my idea, and I got the screenshots to prove it. They talk about their lawyer told them to do it. I told them to. I told them to do that for their own protection.
Grinding, motivated in the building. What's up, man? What's going on?
Almost immediately for like alcohol.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
So are you in breach of contract right now?
It's just
No, I'm just
Don't scare me like that because I was like, wait.
I'm just fucking with you, gang.
And so they give you your alcohol or whatever. I don't drink or any of that, so I already was like uncomfortable. So I kind of sat off to the side, and I was like, when you start, let me know, and I'll, you know. And so then we started. I'm trying to make sure that I include everything I need to. We sat down, we introduced ourselves, all that good stuff. And because I was kind of quiet, they kind of already were like, oh, she's crazy, she's a killer, da da da. But really, like, I really went there to hear what he had to say. And then my intent was to, if I felt like there was something I needed to pick it apart. But if there was something that I needed to internalize, I was going to do that too. So I was ready to be quiet more than anything else. So we went through like a few questions, and some of the questions already were rubbing me the wrong way. Some of the girls' answers were also rubbing me the wrong way because I felt like people weren't being honest.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Give us some examples.
Like no, the ways that they would contradict themselves. Like they'd be like, okay, what do you want in a man? We'd answer. Then they'd be like, okay, like some women, or what was the question? It killed me. Okay, they're like, how much do you want a man to make? And they're like, well, I would like for him to make 6 figures, but if he's like up and coming, then it's okay to not make 6 figures, but I would prefer 6 figures, but also like if he's a little below, like, do you want it or not? Like, you know, it was just like.
So I want to pause it right there because like, even when this whole thing like went down and we were talking, like she went on a couple different podcasts. Some of them we actually share subscribers, believe it or not, a lot of you guys. So a lot of the things, one thing I noticed was A, they were very consistent, and B, just like she was being now in terms of being fair, her fair assessment on the girls that were on the podcast and how wishy-washy they were. And it's just like, all right, that leads a little bit of credibility there because, you know, at least she admits that some of the girls over there weren't acting right. And even watching that episode that she was on, she was very quiet, right? So like no one knew what the hell was going on, like what's going on in her head. But apparently the audience had a weird fucking obsession with it though.
like they were kind of playing with it. And if you want 6 figures, you want it. If you don't, you don't. But like, don't, anyway. So it was just a lot of little shit that I was like, that doesn't make sense. But I was like, I'm holding it in. None of this makes any sense. And so since I have social anxiety, like it was already ticking in my head, like you're not supposed to be here. You're uncomfortable. None of this makes sense. And then certain people were like hogging the floor and making it more like, I'm going to promote myself, which, girl, do you, that's fine. But I didn't come here for that. Like, I'm sitting here uncomfortable. So eventually, and you can see, like, if you go watch, eventually, like, I just break, like, I'm in the middle of a panic attack. So I get up respectfully. I'm like, fuck this shit. And I leave, right? And apparently there were some things said once I left, like, oh, apparently, she's gone through trauma, or, that was a little weird, whatever. So then the next day, after people had finished, like, ripping me apart, they had contacted me to see if I wanted to come back on the show, to try it again. And I didn't want to feel like I bitched out, so I went.
Well, see, let me ask you that. So what was your thought process when you decided to go back on? Because when you say ripping you apart, you talking about the host, or you talking about the subs?
The subs, like, they flocked my Instagram and were saying the most evil shit.
And they give the fans your Instagram. They volunteered that information to the subs. So basically, they kind of like feed a piece of meat to the piranhas.
Yeah, because I didn't even, every girl plugged their Instagram. I didn't plug mine. I didn't plug my Instagram, my OnlyFans, when I didn't want that attention.
So they fed that to the public. Exactly. Yeah, like these dummies keep asking me every time I interview a girl, why don't you put her Instagram in the description?
Yeah. They asked a couple times for my Instagram. They're like, it's in the link below. And I'm just like,
go meet girls for yourself, you fucking lames. Stop fucking DMing girls you saw in the interview. This shit is corny as shit. Go meet a girl in the grocery store, man. Stop being a fucking punk. Anyway, so what made you decide to go back on the show again?
For one, like I said, I didn't want to bitch out. But for two, I felt like genuinely there were ways that this time I wanted to actually speak. And if someone contradicted, I wanted to say that. I wanted to actually participate this time because I didn't before enough. So I went back and it went well, for the most part. There were a few times where Myron would...
You say his name.
Where that man would
You can say his name, Myron fucking Gaines, or the alias.
Like, you could try me, but like I'm not gonna like do the same thing back at you. Like, I could take my shots and be like, you're misogynistic and this and this and this way. You're not gonna learn. For what? Why would I waste my breath?
Yo, I'm saying, if you're gonna say someone's a misogynist, you're gonna make a claim.
And your friend
this is hold up.
So let's read super chats.
Yeah, if you're she walked out, she was that embarrassed?
No, she just politely just walked off.
It was funny because they be kicking chicks
Yeah,
out, but like
yeah.
just as many chicks just walk out on them. It's hilarious, bro.
So how many?
Because
Because
they kicking chicks out like they want to be there, dog. Most of the chicks don't even want to be there after the first 20 minutes. They're like, yo, they don't even want to be there. Like, these niggas ain't shit. No, it's like, yo, all right, just watch how this chick walks out. You see what I'm talking about? She like
was it this one right here though? This one in the purple. Wasn't she on like twice too?
Well, what happens is he pays her to come back on. I brought her. I brought that girl. First of all the girls that I put in the video, I brought them on. So that chick, I brought her on originally. The first time she came on, it was the episode that the roommates was on, and she was interacting with Athese. And then
that was the one.
Yeah, so she walked out, and when she walked out, I went in the hallway and I spoke to her. I said, "Listen, man, just go ahead and go ahead and sit back down because you don't even know what the opportunity you fucking up is. She didn't know who Kevin Samuels was. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, what am I supposed to do? Humble myself?" So I said, "Listen, let me." No, watch this. I said, let me show you something, shorty. I said, "You see that room, right? You see how it's full of a bunch of men in their mid to late 30s, a bunch of dudes that's on their way to being millionaires. Notice how every one of them defers to Kevin Samuels. You should stop and ask yourself why that would be. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if a bunch of grown men can humble themselves for a man that's calling in, maybe you need to go humble yourself too." She went and sat back down and finished the interview. But anyway, so after that, Myron was begging me to get her back on the show. "Oh man, you gotta get that girl, get that OnlyFans girl, get that girl Jess back on the show." So her manager was like, "Fuck that shit, man. She ain't going back on for free." So I talked her into coming back on for free. Ever since I've been gone, Myron's been paying her to come on. And you could see, Finish watching this clip and you tell me, does that look like somebody that wants to fucking be there?
Bro, she don't want to be around this. Yeah, because bro, she don't want to be around this. Because bro, she don't want to be around this.
I'm gonna go too.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, yeah, you could go. You
No
go.
bitches want to be around that.
It is what it is, you know.
You want the cam, the playlist, you know.
Yeah. Catch her on the way out. Make sure she don't fuck nothing up. Because now I have to escort her out to make sure she doesn't like get in her feelings and mess my stuff up.
And you said that name.
How did it make you feel?
Yeah, like you have like an idiosyncratic reaction where you can't really control, like it says it. Everything says it all in just like her body language. Why? Why does it do that?
Because many women give the same reaction to this dude, and I never really could understand it. Even my girl included. Like she can't stand this motherfucker's guts.
When a girl's comfortable, then she could be seduced and want to deal with you on an intimate type level. But if her guard is high because she doesn't know where you stand, you know, on the craziness scale, is this guy weird? Is he going to kill me? Whatever it may be.
The way that a man decides to maneuver his way into and out of situations that doesn't sit well with me. So it's like the integrity, the morals of how he handles himself. I mean, I don't give a fuck. Say what you need to say on your podcast, get your money, but the way that you handle women in real life is just
well, on the podcast as well, I think it's disgusting.
What has happened to you that you have so much like, oh, they must give you a lot of money. They must, there's some like were you hurt by a woman or something?
Oh,
I
Guys,
just want to say because I'm here with a big heart and love, and you're over here like, oh, it's this, that, all this negativity over here.
Guys, you see how when you point out the truths that
What
the media,
truth? You don't even know me. How is that the truth? You don't know me.
Is he not paying you child support? Yes or no?
Of course he gives me child support because I'm with my daughter most of the time.
Okay, but he's giving you child support, right?
Of course.
Okay, so I said
But
he's
I'm
giving
with
you
my
child support.
daughter most of the time.
Okay, but that's the point I'm trying to make. The fact is, he's giving you child support, and that's
But
what I
not-
stated.
Okay.
How am I
Hold
gonna, yo?
Hold on, ladies.
I'm gonna keep this very nice and simple.
Okay, go.
I stated a fact. Your husband pays you child support. Yes or no?
Time out. Describe the tension in this room real quick.
Bro, the problem is, man, this motherfucker thinks he knows every girl. He thinks every girl is like a robot that you could like predict, you know what I'm saying? What they're gonna do, why they're gonna do it, they're only gonna do this, that like it's ridiculous, bro. I know that girl.
Yeah.
Myron couldn't be any more wrong about her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's over here saying that she's only about the child support and taking her baby father for the child support. Dude, her daughter's like 8 years old. Her baby daddy's only been paying child support for 1 year.
Damn.
And she says, like, if he didn't want to pay the child support, she wouldn't take him to court. To force him to pay. Dude, that's why he's only been paying for a year, because he started paying when he decided he wanted to pay. They still communicate daily basis. They co-parent, no problem.
And you notice this is the kind of stuff, because you notice these guys, they try to paint like a freaking picture of like what women are to these guys, right? Because then it feeds into these narrative that they're trying to push on people. And that's another purpose of this, man. I want you guys to understand, like, there's a huge fucking narrative being pushed here, and that's helping you be separated from a woman to the point where you don't even know how to interact with them. And they're pushing this self-development, personal development, and they're hiding all this stuff behind a paywall. Meanwhile, we get to understand why. It's because they don't really know what it is that they're fucking doing, but they'll charge you an arm and a leg for it, though. And that's the thing that we want you to make sure you guys realize. It's not about, listen, man. listen. No one freaking cares if you decide to, like, if you guys follow Fashion Fit or not. No one cares about that to the stands out there. We're just saying, understand the messaging, because if you guys are going out there in the real world to interact with people, to interact with women, and you're carrying these ideologies, you're going to fail. And honestly, that's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing that you should fail. But the problem with that is you're going to go back to these motherfuckers because they've already conditioned you to think stupid shit, and you guys are already blinded by it. So the reason why I said it's good for you guys to fail, so you guys to come to different spaces that have different ideas that can help you guys out. They can actually push you guys towards getting what it is that you wanted to get. But like, here's the thing, and this is the one thing I don't get, man. Like, people see, some of these guys see this stuff, and if they choose not to like just put the blinders on and just whatever.
Wasn't my husband, by the way.
Oh, well, that's your problem. Okay, but so going back.
What's
to what I
good,
was saying,
Papi Blanco?
Your baby's father, he's paid you child support, yes or no?
For this year, for 1 year, I think.
But he's paying you, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, I stated he pays you. That's a fact.
Okay.
And based on what you've told me already, he's probably pretty economically safe, so he's probably paying you a decent amount. And I know the child support laws here in Florida, he's going to pay you a decent amount as well. And I know that when guys pay child support, they pay a pretty penny. So I know that he's paying you a good amount of money.
I wouldn't take him to court. Even if he didn't want to give me money, I'm not going to take him.
Remember, I'm talking in facts here.
Okay.
He pays you child support. Yes, I said he pays you child support. How does that make me hurt by addressing a fact? So anyway, all right. Yeah. Okay. So arguing with emotion, guys. You guys are seeing it right here. Okay. And this is what will happen, guys, when you bring up facts. They're immediately going to say, "Who hurt you?" And it's like,
nobody hurt me.
Okay.
I'm good.
Well, no, you made the allegation that someone hurt me, and I was just like, listening.
I may not have talked that
questions?
much because I'm more of a quiet type.
Yeah.
I'm very shy.
It's only when I'm talking that you want to talk. All right.
Yeah.
Fair
I know.
enough.
I actually, after you said that, I stayed very quiet. If you haven't noticed.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I kind of like, after you said that to me, I was just like, I kind of like, I went like introvert for real.
Okay. When I said what?
When you were like, oh, hold on, I'm talking. So like, once I heard that, I was just like, right away, I was like, I kind of shut off there because like I'm like that. Like I even feel like I want to cry right now.
I like that. Though.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's a quality.
It's submissive.
I'm super like
submissive.
Well, I mean, there's consequences to doing rude things. Cutting people off has consequences.
I know. But like I said, I'm very shy. Like this is the first time I ever do anything like this. So like.
Okay.
Okay. Are you crying? I know.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what's that? And then
mind you guys, she's crying not because she had this, this wide awakening of her lifestyle and whatnot. You know how some people cry when some of the lifestyle's been exposed as, hey, you've been going on the wrong path this whole time and you need to change. No, she's not crying because of that self-realization. She's crying because this dude straight up told her to stop. So I don't it's just crazy. That doesn't tell you the kind of atmosphere that's on there, man. I don't know what else to tell you, man, because to me it just seems like there's just crazy just tension with this man.
Dude, let me tell you what just happened right there. The reason why she was crying is because she didn't expect that. Like she walked in there on good faith, you know what I'm saying, thought they were gonna have a discussion about single motherhood and what it's like dating for a single mom, stuff like that. She thought it was gonna be a conversation, like an exchange of ideas and perspectives. And all he did was railroad her into a preconceived notion, you know what I'm saying, a bullshit narrative that he's, committed to. But here's the thing though. That entire conversation, every fucking talking point he made was wrong. He was wrong about every fucking thing. It's like, yeah, her baby father pays her child support. You know that only because she told you that. You don't know that because you know everything about every fucking woman and you can guess. And here's the thing. Like I said, the dude pays child support because he chose to, right? Like I said, he's only been paying for a year, right? Everything else Myron said to that chick, he was dead wrong. Like, for example, she's like, yo, she's celibate and she's doing the ayahuasca. Myron was like, yeah, well, that's cap. No, like I said, I know her. She actually was on some celibate shit, right? Then Myron was like, oh, well, no guy's going to wait for that, whatever. Like, dude. She's dating a dude now that waited. You see what I'm saying? And they're like traveling all over the world and they're living their best life. And
that's crazy.
And dude waited. You see what I'm saying? So it's like Myron is wrong in the past, he's wrong in the present, and he's wrong with his predictions. So it's like when the girls come on, he tells them their past. Like he knows. You see what I'm saying? Then he tells them what's going on right now and why they're doing what they're doing. Like he knows. And then he tells them definitively, this isn't going to happen. That's not going to happen. You're not going to get this shit. You're not going to get it. And it's just like the girls are like, what is this guy talking about? Like you're trying to tell girls that like top 10% guys are scarce and you're not going to get a guy like that. And girls are like, I've dated several guys that make that kind of money. What do you like? The girls are like 100,000 a year. Like I've dated more than 1 millionaire.
Yeah.
Like these girls are dating like 1 millionaire per year. And Myron's
it's
over
crazy.
It's not gonna happen. Like they're not gonna meet this guy, or they're not gonna get another one. It's like
and
girls are telling them that they broke up with guys that make that kind of money. He's like cap. It's like
It's funny because they're teaching all these dudes, man, like your money is important. Your money is everything. Like fuck who you are. Here's the thing, man. Y'all want to ask why like we go so hard because if y'all haven't been paying attention, I'm sorry, but if you look out at large, not even just in social media, but out there, you see that people, man, they really do think that leading with their money is the best thing for them. That they're walking around with this idea. So that's why when we see people posting ideas like that, it's like, yo, you got to be checked because there is an alternative. Because let me tell you this, y'all out there leading with your money and whatnot, doing all this stuff, you're doing nothing but like basically training these girls to go ahead and take you for everything you got. And y'all definitely don't want to miss not only tomorrow's video, but next week's video, because I'm going to show y'all how these women be finessing y'all. And guess what? They are looking for simps like you. You FNF stands don't believe you're simps. Believe it, bro, because this is what these guys are teaching you. They're looking for guys like you, guys who are emotionally vulnerable with a lot of fucking money, because those are guys that it can do with playthings. You even heard of them on the show themselves. They said it. Fresh said it himself. There was a dude that was super chatting hundreds of dollars. And just to talk shit to those same girls, just like some of y'all we have right now in the chat who create fake profiles of women that we've had on the show or women that are participating in the chat just to do all this fuck shit. All right. So you guys go around and do that, and then you fly those same girls out and you basically simp on them. So it's crazy. You guys, they're training you guys to be exactly what these women want. Let me read the super chat. Brokages over Hokages. Hokages. I thought that was Hokage. Naruto stuff. That'd be dope. Love both you guys' content. Keep spreading the word love and positivity. Appreciate it, bro. We're not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop, guys. So for those of you guys out there who only come for the Fresh and Fit videos, but then only say that we only make Fresh and Fit videos, yeah, you're definitely missing out, because we're not stopping. There's going to be a whole lot more shit, man. I'm going to tell you right now, you want to talk about opposing ideas, there's going to be a lot more of that coming. And I guarantee you, we have both merits stand on themselves, right? The bullshit they're preaching, you guys, and the stuff that we have here, you guys are going to be able to make that comparison, all right? So that's going to be it. We're offering it to you guys. We're not selling you anything. We're saying this is how shit should be. If it resonates with you, great. If you feel like you need to go out there and spend money and trick and have your life be the way it is, fine. But then it's just what it is. Understand it's a choice that you made, and it's your fucking responsibility. Jeff Hill, thank you for the $5 super chat. This flexing on this movement, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. No, we're growing, man. It's gonna be a whole community, man. We're not stopping. Let's go ahead and continue.
I guess Frank Castle's undefeated. All right, continue on. James Burnett.
On the podcast, I get why I'm not condoning it, but if that's how you make your money, you feel me? But like, I'm not really focused on. I'm focused on everything that I've heard about this man off the podcast, and that's enough for me to be.
Yeah, but let's talk about your experience, because so you went on the show and like you said that you were extremely shy. You weren't necessarily in your element or comfortable. And the young lady that brought you to my attention, the very first thing that she said to me about you, the way she described you, was insecure. And she felt that this dude targeted you because you were insecure. And like, for her to say that to me, it was like, yeah, you're preaching to the choir, because I feel like he targets guys, women, subs, insecurity in general is what he looks for in people, so that he can like manipulate and have that upper hand. And that's why we always bumped heads, because like, nigga, if I have an insecurity, nigga, good luck finding it. You know what I'm saying? I think that really irritated him about me, is that he couldn't find what was the push button on me. You understand what I'm saying? So I want you to give me your, opinion on it, or your analysis. What do you think his interest was in you, and what, you know what I'm saying? Did you feel like you were picked or, targeted?
Well, for one, like you said, I won't say that I'm insecure, but I will say that I am. I don't like that word, but damn it, if I'm insecure, I'm just a little vulnerable emotionally.
It's insecurity. I mean,
I don't think there's anything wrong with. There's nothing wrong with having insecurity. Like, we all have insecurities. I have insecurities. I talk to my girl about insecurities all the time. I think insecurities make you better. Depending on like what they are. Like, maybe I think Kobe was insecure. That's why he shot 1,000 jump shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't have this concept with insecurity as it being a bad thing, because you can embrace it and it can make you better. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah.
I mean, I had no problem. That's why, like, I didn't go on there and try to be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Like, I have no problem showing that I have these insecurities or these feelings or these doubts about myself, because I just feel like that's what comes with me. So I'm not gonna hide it, you know. So she, in that sense, she was correct. But also, like, what he likes to do is go through the comments. And most of the comments about
Oh,
the
y'all
episode were
crazy.
about me. They were bad ones, but they were
Oh,
good ones. Like,
crazy,
she's
bro.
mysterious. We don't understand her. She might be crazy. We
Hold
don't know, but
up.
we like it. So then he was like, oh, okay, they like it. Boom, I like it. Fuck it.
So do you think it was more about, all right, because this is one of the issues that I have is that
Yo,
the motherfucker
moderators,
never
let's
wanted
get
to
the
be
let's get the stuff
professional and just
let's
keep
get that
the
off the
women
screen.
as guests on the show and leave it at that. Like, one of the things that started to irritate me the most is like going over there and just seeing random chicks roll out of the bed that I brought to the podcast the night before and shit like that. It's like, nigga, I'm not your dating service. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like this is not why I'm in.
Pause. Because this is one of the biggest problems that if anything else, like, we're talking about what's gonna get this dude his trouble, right? And not only that, because I've seen in a couple of videos that he's preached this too as well. Don't shit where you eat. Don't shit where you eat, right? And then it turns out that you're shitting where you eat in the worst way possible, right? Don't make single mothers, or don't date single mothers. And you're doing, bruh, you out here making single mothers, man. Like, you are, this is the thing. You are a walking fucking contradiction, my guy. It's crazy. It's nuts. And then people are going to fucking follow you. And guess what? They're going to either end up in the same boat or fucking worse. You can't control your dick. You just can't, Myron.
You want to hear something funny, bro? I already told you.
Let him hear it.
I already told you, but yeah, man. Remember I was telling you the other day, Shorty texted me, a Canadian chick, and she's like, yo, these dudes are out of their mind. I'm like, who you talking about? What happened? She's like, this guy, he texted me and he's trying to tell me to come on a podcast and he's gonna fly me out. Bro, so I told her, send me the screenshots. I'm like, bro, this dude Myron is still leveraging the podcast for butt. I'm just like,
Hold up. Let me set this up for the chat real quick, because I don't think the chat really understands what's going on. This nigga Myron hasn't learned his lesson yet. Okay, you guys.
Well, no, he said that though. He never, like, it's not about he's cocky with it. He literally said that it adds to my reputation. So,
but here's the thing:
the Quinn thing adds to his reputation,
and that's the crazy. Go ahead.
No, listen. This shit right here, right? This is a win for Myron. This bullshit right here in his mind and in the mind of his subs is a win.
It's so crazy.
I read the comments and I listen to what he says, and basically they feel that this proves that Myron has game, because he took a weak, insecure chick that he first offered $6,000 to on Seeking Arrangements to spend a weekend with him, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I probably wasn't supposed to let that out, but I don't give a fuck, man. Like, it is what it is, bro. Anyway, so yeah, he offered this chick $6,000 to spend a weekend with him on Seeking Arrangements. She just didn't want to, you know. But in my mind, it's like, listen, you on Seeking Arrangements, first of all, that's number one. Number two, I'm tired of subs commenting in my shit talking about, well, she's having unprotected sex on her Onlyfans with some random dude, and she's posting naked, explicit pictures recently on her Twitter. And the guys are like, she's not pregnant. Well, first of all, you're an idiot if you think girls only post recent pictures. You can easily be posting pictures before the president's stupid, just to keep content on her shit. But anyway, the point of the matter is that Myron looks at that as confirmation that he has game, that he was able to manipulate her out of unprotected box, right? When in reality, number one, you offered her money first, that didn't work. Number two, you offered to bring on a podcast, and that worked, but she walked out. So you apologized to her and begged her to come back on the podcast, right? Then you leveraged helping her with her OnlyFans and her Instagram and all her social media platforms, right? And then that just got your foot in the door, right? Then you spent 3 days with the chick consecutively to get the box. And then afterwards, then you're like, fuck you, I'm out of here. And people are acting like that's player. That's player. I'm sorry.
See,
that's a hell of an investment. That's a hell of an investment to see a girl that all y'all are claiming are low quality because they keep on insulting her and saying that she's crazy, she's low quality, she's on OnlyFans, all these things. And I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, you know what y'all remind me of? You remind me of a disgruntled baby mama who is talking ish about her baby daddy like it makes her look better. The worse you talk about your baby daddy is the worse it make you look, mama, because you had a baby with him. So it's the same as actually with Myron and his subs. The more you try to, down this chick, in the logical mind, is the worse it makes Myron look. Because not only did you sleep with this chick and get her pregnant, but look at the effort you went through. Look at the length you went through.
Yeah.
And you're the same dude talking about you don't pay for box, right? But you offered the $6,000 on Seeking Arrangements, right? Okay, hold on. Then you say no free clout, but you brought her on the podcast twice, right? Then you say that you ain't doing nothing for a chick, you ain't put in effort, but you leveraging help with OnlyFans and all these other things, right?
Yeah.
Then you say that you don't sit here and continue to pursue girls or date girls that you don't sleep with on the first night. You didn't sleep with Simone on the first night, buddy. So I just see just like the list of contradictions is so damn long. So at the end of the day, we not changing no minds of no Fresh and Fit subs, bro. They are committed to this bullshit. It's a religion at this point, right? The way they spin everything, they spin every fact to somehow support their bullshit narrative. So all this mess that you're looking at right here, because this shit is all very, very messy. This is all very sloppy. In their mind, this confirms that Myron has game. Wow.
That's nuts. That's nuts. But no, this man didn't learn his lesson, man. I know you said it's like lesson to be learned, but like honestly,
he didn't look at it as a bad thing, bro. He thinks the Anna Quinn situation was good. He looks at it because this is the thing. You see how they keep accusing us of clout chasing? Well, listen, them niggas really are about clout. They will do anything for clout. Okay, Myron fucking was hooking up with a feminist who he said he hated. He swore he hated her, but he was hooking up with a feminist so that she wouldn't have the video taken down. He wanted to keep the video up so bad because the views were good. So these niggas was whore themselves out like bitches. Right? Like OnlyFans girls themselves. They have more in common with OnlyFans girls than anything else. Right?
Even the audience.
I'm not saying that because I'm trying to insult them. I'm saying that because I'm observing and analyzing their tactics, and it's exactly like these OnlyFans chicks. Think about it. You gotta pay for their Patreon for them to explain something to you. For them to, it's top secret. It's you gotta go to our Patreon to get the answer to this. And when you get over there, it ain't nothing. Right?
Nothing. Same shit.
Right. That's something a hoe on OnlyFans would do, right? Then to hang out with me, you got to pay this and pay that, and you got to be at the top tier Patreon to come hang out with us in Miami. Okay, that's what prostitutes do, my nigga. They sell their time to guys that they really don't like. So Fresh and Fit do not care or like or value any of their goddamn subs, but they sit there and hoe and hoard themselves out to those subs for money. That's exactly what prostitutes do. That's exactly what sex workers do, buddy. Right? So this is the mindset that they have. So the same way that a female craves attention, whether it's bad attention or negative attention, women do a ton of shit on the internet, and you're thinking, I can't believe she's playing herself like that. In her mind, it's a win because she's getting views. You see what I'm saying? This is exactly.
But it's such low hanging fruit though. That's the crazy thing. That's one thing I don't understand. It's like you're teaching, or you're trying to teach all this wannabe high value stuff, all this we're high status and all this, and then on top of that,
they don't believe
see, and that's what. Thank you, because that's what I'm trying to get.
They're just saying that because it's a popular term.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. They themselves don't believe none of this shit they say, bro. They just they look at what's trending, and whatever the hell that's trending, that's what the hell is gonna spew out of their mouth, right? When that shit happened with them boys, when I went over to their fucking spot, dude, my mom called me the next day. You gotta understand, this shit's on the internet. So my family was calling me the next day because they already know how I think. So they see a punk ass motherfucker pull a gun out on me, they're like, oh Lord, because they already know how I think.
Yeah.
All that going on, no jumper bullshit. I'll blow his head off and all that shit. My dude, I've never played with that shit my entire life. You're not gonna be pulling guns out on me and threatening me, motherfucker. That shit's nothing new, bro. All you do is give me flashbacks to my younger days, right? So my family's already concerned because they thinking, oh shit, what is he about to do to this boy, right? But the point I'm trying to make is, if my moms can hear about this shit, where's Myron's parents? Where's Myron's family? Because you
niggas it got that FBI ghost shit going on.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because that means he cares more about this shit, right? Than what people think of him, or what people are seeing about him publicly. He cares more about the clout than his family being like, yo, how are you out here getting this chick pregnant and doing all of this and abusing these women and talking to these women? Like, how are you popular for that?
Yeah.
What you supposed to be? You're supposed to be highly religious, right? You're supposed to love and respect your mom, right? And respect your dad, but you out here putting that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you put an alias on it, bro, you still you. People
You're
know
still
your
Myron
government
Gaines, and that's the crazy thing.
You still your government name.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. The fact that he's confident with this, he's cocky and arrogant about this whole situation. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. It's not normal behavior. That's not normal behavior at all. Like you're not. So yeah, we'll do about another 10 minutes of this, and then we're gonna get into some real shit that's actually gonna help you guys out there. You know, aside from this nonsense, because real talk, like guys, you guys have to be able to say. And I love the way you put together the video, by the way, because essentially you're showing on one hand the reality of what this man actually is, and on the other hand the facade that he's trying to sell, right? And how you're putting that together, and basically it's him hanging himself, really. Because he's not practicing what he preaches, and that's the reason why we go so hard about this is because that's the same kind of nonsense that puts this this industry in hot water. Because you got to understand, like the red pill community, the manosphere community, all these other places, right? It's not as big, but it's growing. It's not as big to the outside world. When they think about this shit, they think of pickup artists, they think of all these weirdos, you know, and then they come in and they see, okay, one so supposed top popular male improvement podcasts out here, and they see what they're doing to women, and they're seeing how they're treating them, and they're seeing all these kind of styles and nonsense they're putting on, and it's like, ugh. Oh man, just because I thought it represents all of us. So people are going to say, "Oh shit," you know, look at mediocre review and tutorials. We'll just use him, right? Look at his content. Look how he's trying to help man. They're not going to say that. They're not even going to look at his content at all. They're not going to look at guys like Poor Man Podcast or all these other guys, right? They're going to look at the Fresh and Fits and some of these other guys that are triggering. And that's what you guys got to understand. So there has to be a counter message to this. Not saying that we want these guys off air. It's just, hey, if you guys aren't going to change, which clearly we already know Myron Gaines isn't going to do shit. That's fine. All right. So now that just means that we're going to go even fucking harder. That's basically it. And it's not just saying coming at them constantly. It's the ideas. And that's something that you haters can't fucking seem to understand. You can't separate the ideas from the goddamn person. That's how I know you guys are stands. Personally, do I have a problem with the podcast? Fucking no, because they spit some good shit sometimes. It's the fucking ideas that they're tossing out there, the shit that they want you guys to believe. That's the crap that I have a problem with. But some of you motherfuckers, for some reason, can't differentiate that before that. Am I saying stop following this niggas? No, nah, bro, you're your own person.
Reason,
go ahead.
What you got to understand is that, first of all, we already know that majority of their subs are gonna be, you know what I'm saying, guys that have been taking L's their whole damn life. And people keep saying taking L's with women, man. You can limit it to women if you want, if that's your priority. But they taking L's everywhere. These are dudes that wasn't athletic. These are dudes that other guys didn't like. They didn't have a lot of male friends. They weren't popular. They weren't cool. They weren't respected, accepted. So women is just like an afterthought. Like, obviously, you're not going to be good with women if you're not good with all those other social, you know what I'm saying, areas and circles of life, right? So these dudes was just taking L's all day long. That's why these guys are so thirsty to be a part of something. They're so thirsty to be friends with these dudes, part of this cult, and they're in denial the same way an Onlyfans fan is in denial that the girl doesn't actually give a shit about them. They in denial. They think she really cares because they want that. Even though every single sign is telling you the obvious, which is that this chick does not care about you. She's only interacting with you because you pay for it. But the Fresh and Fit subs are stuck in that same cognitive dissonance, bro. They have that same level of denial. Like, no, he likes me. Myron likes me. He responded to me. Myron doesn't like you, bro. You know that. And Fresh doesn't like you either. Fresh is just like damage control. Fresh responds to every DM and all that, not because he gives two shits, but just because Fresh is coming from a different background. He's coming from, you know, a corporate background. He's coming from a professional background where you actually, you know, respond to the client, the customer.
Yeah.
You're just doing your job. So
Yeah.
it's just a little bit different type of professionalism, right? Myron has a fuck you pay me mentality. Now, another thing you got to understand is that when you look at the analytics, overwhelmingly, the majority of their subs fall between the ages of 15 and 19. I'm sorry, bro. Sorry. Fall between the ages of 15 and 24, right? Now, when you split that, right? The larger portion of that is between 15 and 19. So at the end of the day, majority of their fans is fucking children. So they're out here molesting children, basically. They're out here molesting children.
My God.
Right? So the game that these motherfuckers is running is the same game that the hip hop artists is running, the same game that the boy bands is running. They're taking advantage of undeveloped minds. They're taking advantage of young, dumb motherfuckers that have no base of reference. You can't know what's good music at 12, 13, 14. You don't know what's good music because you don't know any fucking music. So if you're a 14-year-old girl, you think the most popular boy band is the best music ever, right? And you ain't never gonna ever let nobody tell you nothing negative about them little boys wearing makeup, wearing tight clothes, tight jeans, dancing around like little faggots. You ain't gonna let nobody talk bad about them because those are heartthrobs to you. You're infatuated with them. Well, guess what? It was the same way with hip hop. You think you could tell a 15-year-old, 16, 17-year-old something about his favorite rapper? You think you could criticize a Young Thug fan? Like, why the hell is Young Thug wearing dresses and nail polish? Oh, you hating because he getting money. It's like, no, I'm uncomfortable with the fact
That's a crazy thing too, because that almost seems to be a default for a lot of these niggas. It's like if you criticize something you're hating, it's like, bruh, what in the fuck? It's like you guys don't even understand. That's why when we get this stuff, when we get these other guys who come on the show, when they see the thumbnail and stuff, that's how I know you motherfuckers are title readers, right? Y'all don't actually watch this shit. You just read the titles, right? And you come on in and you put your little comments in. And you simp for your soldier or your goddamn general, and then you out of here. But here's the thing: you think that shit, you're oh, well, you guys are still here talking about this shit. This is why we do it, and I'm gonna fucking take the hate. Y'all sitting there coming at me like I give a fuck, bro. Just like these Myron Gaines and Fresh and Fit motherfuckers, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna keep talking about it because y'all motherfuckers are here. And the fact that y'all motherfuckers here, I know that you're at least willing to listen. That's fucking it. As long as I'm doing my job, that you're fucking here, that's fine. But guess what? Your fucking comment trying to appeal to my fucking sense of morality for talking about this shit, it's not gonna fucking work, bro. You're talking to a guy that spent over 8 years of fucking sales, all right? I done seen it all. I done talked to so many goddamn people, so many fucking scenarios. I'm already seeing through the bullshit before that happened. And you know what? Basically, it's one of those things that from one bullshitter to another, Myron Gaines, you got to be able to spot this shit, right? Because that's what sales is. That's what these guys are doing. They're selling you motherfuckers a dream. The only problem is that this shit isn't real, right? That's the thing. Y'all motherfuckers still sleeping. That's why they're able to sell this shit. Because if you woke up, you realize if you go out to reality and try to pitch this shit to somebody, it's not gonna fucking work because you're lacking the skills to be able to relate to somebody. And that's a big portion of it that these guys are missing. It's evidence in the message that he's sending to these women. He's lacking the whole personable aspect of it. There's no social aspect of it. He's not here to read the situation. My man's going out there throwing bricks. And when you're talking about dealing in the world of sales, and I'm always going to refer to the world of sales because that's the world I came from, but it's a people world. You got to understand the mentality of the other person you're dealing with. That's what it is. You know that saying, you can't sell a salesman. There's a reason why, because the mentality is on the same wavelength. They understand the patterns of human behavior. And that's what we're trying to get you guys to do. So let's go ahead and play this, and then we'll go ahead and get into some content here.
Inviting chicks to come on the podcast for you to try to smash.
But I do want you to clarify, why was that something that bothered you, that you saw them rolling out the bed? Because simps and other people may take it as
I'm a hater or something.
Yeah, they might take it as if, well, you bought him there and you didn't get the opportunity.
Oh no, absolutely. No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm gonna explain it. Yeah, clear. Yeah, because low functioning motherfuckers with very little experience in the real world, they jump to those type of conclusions. So here's the thing: by 10:30, 11, put it this way, within the first 10 to 30 minutes of the podcast, I'm already tipping the valet and getting in my car. Like I go home, I got shit to do. I got clients to train early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I got my woman at home waiting for me. So if I do kind of watch the podcast to an extent, I watch it from the comfort of my own bed. You understand what I'm saying? I have no interest in watching that show in person live, and I have no interest in mingling with the chicks that are on the show. I mean, even if you wanted to imagine that, right, with your limited imagination, but if you wanted to imagine that, I invited the girls on the show, stupid. I have their phone numbers. I can reach out to them at any time if that was what I wanted to do. I wouldn't wait around at the podcast for them to finish recording a 2-hour show to be like, hey, what's up? Let's go get sushi at 2-3 in the morning. I got
So
better
you
things
know this.
to do,
This is how you know the
fuckface,
subs. Their
right?
accusations.
Okay,
You can tell
so
they have no
that is
experience.
absolutely out of the god.
You can tell by the accusations they make that no experience.
I was waiting on that part too, because like I was in there, like you could they don't know, like they think, okay, you see a guy, you see a girl talking, oh, he wants to hit that, right? And it's not even that, because you see it. We had another man, Kevin Ray Wilder, on the show too as well, because he also talks about this whole red pill toxic nonsense. I think he does the whole white pill thing too. Oh, by the way, we're gonna have Coach White Pill on too as well, so you guys look out for the thumbnail for that. But it's like one of those things where it's like a lot of these guys don't get it, man. You guys don't understand behind the scenes, so you guys make assumptions. Oh, well, this person is probably trying to he's pointing out the points that she talked about, and we're talking about this Guste girl, right? He's pointing out the points that Guste talked about with Donovan Sharpe. He must be trying to simp for her. He must be trying to white knight for her. It's like, stupid motherfucker. Just because somebody is pointing out criticisms, all right, valid criticisms, talking about this dude like fucking striking videos and shit like that, that's valid. Doesn't mean he's trying to have sex with her. Not everybody's trying to fuck everybody for
No, you know it's funny too, bro.
Fuck, man.
These motherfuckers don't be realizing, bro, sometimes you be like, oh, he's doing this and that because he's trying to hit it. He's training this girl because he's trying to hit it. It's like,
what?
Or he already hit it. Like,
yo.
You understand? Like, I don't know.
And then that's why I like what you said there, because like, bro,
language. They don't know how to.
I brought them on the show, bro. Like, I brought them on the show. If I wanted to fuck.
When the subs accuse me of hating on Myron, it's hilarious because everybody on that team know the truth. Everybody on that team know Myron hate me. He hates on me. And it's simple, dude. The amount of times where Myron tried to get a chick and he leveraged everything he had and the chick was feeling me and I put zero effort, it's like I'm not even on it. The amount of times he tried to accomplish something, to do something with his money, and he couldn't get it done, and I got it done just with the gift of gab. I'm gonna give you an example, because I know motherfuckers like examples. They were like, oh yeah, they just making shit up. I'll give you an example, right? When Coach Greg Adams came into town, right? So we go pick him up from the airport or whatever. And one thing about Myron is he kisses the ass of every motherfucking guests when they come into town. Myron and Fresh, you know, pick him up from the airport. Myron sits in the back, his tall ass. You know, Coach Greg Adams is like 5'7", and you know he sits in the back of his own car, so Coach Greg Adams can sit in the front. You know what I'm saying? All this over the top unnecessary shit. So you fold it up in the back at like 6'3". You fold it up in the back.
Let me wash your feet, Coach.
Yeah, you ass kisser. So we talking, and so we in the car talking, right? They over here kissing ass, agreeing with everything Coach say. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm over there disagreeing with Coach. I love Coach Greg Adams to death. He knows I love him. I love him to death, right? And I've been this is another thing. They be bringing people on who have never even watched their content. You see what I'm saying? I've been watching Coach Greg Adams since he started the channel. So we can have a conversation. We can relate. I'm very familiar with his content, right? So we talking and stuff, and you know, I'm respectfully disagreeing and shit, right? So the conversation was, when you smash 9s and 10s, what do you really get though? That's what Coach's point was. He was like, all right, so you smash a 9, you smash a 10, and then what? What'd you get? You don't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, I disagree, right? So we having this argument in the car. Fresh agrees, Myron agrees, right? I'm like, I don't agree. And Coach is like, well, then tell me then, explain. Go ahead, give me your point. What do you get? So I got into it. I said, all right, all the 9s and all the 10s that I've smashed, one thing that for sure across the board that I've gotten from them was an experience. An experience that nobody can ever take away from me. It's up here. It's in my memories. I could be 90 years old on my deathbed,
closing my eyes, thinking about, ooh, remember that time when I had that one? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the level of confidence and soundness that it gives you. You see what I'm saying? It will take a lot of the chasing 6s and 7s and 8s out of your repertoire when you've had 9s and 10s. Right? For me personally, it literally calmed me down. It made me less. I had less to prove to myself. You see what I'm saying? And I could go more for quality rather than quantity.
Trying to fuck everything.
Right. So it actually helps you to level your game up and level your perspective of yourself, right? And coach ended up having to agree and say, you know what? You make a point. The point is these niggas didn't have the balls, okay, to disagree. Whether they did or didn't, they didn't have the balls to, right? So we asked coach, like, where you want to go? So he's like, yo, man, I got to go by South Beach. It's my first time in Miami. It's like, all right. If you know anything about Miami, we ain't nowhere near South Beach, bro. We're in Brooklyn. Not that it's far, but it's something completely different. You got to cross a bridge and everything. So we go to South Beach just for the sake of coach getting to see some sights, take some pictures, get some footage, right? So we get to Ocean and we passing by the Versace mansion. I'm like, yo, coach, you're gonna want to go in here. He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, all the tourists always want to go there. You know, it's Versace mansion, so you want to stop, take some pictures or whatever. He's like, yeah, I want to go up in there. I heard about it, right? So we get to the Versace mansion, and the dude at the front is like, yo, y'all got dinner reservations? So it's like, nah, I don't got dinner reservations. He's like, yo, man, I can't let you in, right? So Myron is like leading with his wallet. He's trying to lead his wallet. He's like, yeah, oh, well, you know, we'll go ahead and put it. And the dude's like, nah, man, you're not hearing me. You ain't got dinner reservations. I can't let you in. You can't just make reservations now. They would have had to been made in advance. We ain't got no room for you. So while Myron's distracting the dude at the front, I slide to the side and I pull one of the waitresses. So I pull one of the waitresses to the side. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I got my boy from out of town. He's never been to Miami. We just need to get up in there and take some pictures. She's like, yeah, but we can't let you in without reservation. I said, yeah, but check it out. Can we at least go to the bar or something? And we'll buy some drinks or something. We'll tip you good. She's like, she looked to the left. She looked to the right. She's like, how many of you is it? I'm like, Ninja Turtle, baby. Ninja Turtle. You know what I'm saying? You got Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo. She's like, all right, hurry up. If you had seen the fucking look on Myron's face, because he was upset that he failed in front of coach, but I was able to come through for the team. Now notice I said come through for the team. Why the fuck is you salty for, nigga? We on the same team. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is home team. You over here salty that I made the basket. Now that's a hater. You see, but you fuck boys wouldn't know how to recognize that. You didn't play sports. You didn't get out here in these streets. You see what I'm saying? You ain't had no real niggas as friends. That's a hater. That's how you identify a hater. Not someone that criticizes or challenges ideas. That's not a hater. Okay? A hater is somebody that's salty anytime somebody else makes a fucking basket or scores a touchdown or gets a punani. That's a hater. Okay? And the amount of times that he's been salty that he wasn't the one that got the girl, but the person that got the girl is somebody on his team. That's a hater, bro. If you and your boys feeling the same chick and your boy get it, you're supposed to be like, nigga, you got that. What?
Yep.
But when you like, nigga, you always trying to holler at her, nigga, you no. That's a hater.
And then play all that fucking passive aggressive shit.
That's a hater.
Yeah. See that's the difference, guys. Like literally, I surround my friends, myself with friends who criticize me. I want to, and it's constructive, right? They're telling you shit that, like, for instance, if I'm wilding out, I need. First of all, I should have enough goddamn sense to know when I'm wilding out. But if I'm wilding out or I'm in a situation where I'm not understanding the environment quite well, I'm hoping to damn well know the niggas I'm surrounding myself with. You can check me and let me know what the fuck's going on so I can act correctly, so I can change my perspective, so I can elevate my mind. That's all this shit is. It's just helping these niggas elevate the game. But then we're called fucking haters. That makes no fucking sense. It's like, I'm helping you elevate your game and I'm a hater. All right, bro, whatever.
It's
even when you're fair to them.
It's also looking out, though. You see what I'm
exactly
saying? Because hold on, real niggas criticize, right? Why? Because when they see you fucking up, they're trying to prevent you taking a fall. Right?
So let me go ahead and segue this shit to this fucking dummy Myron, right? I was criticizing this motherfucker to his face constantly, trying to tell him certain things you might want to stop doing. Fucking the bitches on the podcast, being one of them. Now, here's the thing though. When I'm telling him stop fucking the bitches on the podcast, I'm not telling him out of hate. I'm telling him out of concern. And I'm telling him why. Bro, you might not be that big now, but you're definitely trying to be. You're very, very ambitious. You're working on it, or you care about his subs, or you care about his popularity. So what happens when you succeed and 2, 3, 4 years from now, your name is huge? You don't think that all these chicks are gonna be coming out of the woodworks, making accusations? You think chicks ain't gonna be popping up out of nowhere accusing you of shit when they see you on this TV show, or they see you here, they see you there successful? They're gonna be thinking to themselves, he brought me on the show, he treated me like shit, kicked me out, he hooked up with me and then dogged me out and then ghosted me. And you don't think they're gonna be
made money off of me?
Exactly. You don't think
because that's how they're gonna feel.
Right. They're gonna feel used and taken advantage of, exploited and discarded. That's how they're gonna feel. They're gonna be like, he made money off of me on the show. He talked to me a certain way, kicked me out. He got super chats off of it and everything. He hooked up with me, or he hooked up with my friend or whatever, and then he didn't answer the phone. He stopped calling me. You know what? I don't like to see him doing well. I don't like to see him being successful after he hurt me and played me and forgot all about me. I didn't forget about him. Now, what happens when one girl, you know what I'm saying, makes a claim, right? And then a bunch of other girls start popping out too and say, yeah, I was on the show in 2001, and I was on the show in February, and I was on the show in October, and he did this to me, and then I went back to his condo, and then this, and then that, and he kicked me out the car because I didn't want to suck his dick. What happens when all of that comes out? So this is what I'm telling the motherfucker, right?
And here's the thing, man.
But hold on. But look at where we are now.
Yep.
So who's the hater? And I was trying to warn him that if he kept doing shit like that, that something like this would happen.
Yep. And not even that, bro. He hasn't even. He's still doing the same shit.
And we just
that's a problem. Y'all don't get it, man. Y'all don't get it. We just getting started. Like I said, this man didn't learn his lesson. He actually tried that same fucking tactic with another girl that was on our show. Like he tried that same shit. So it's like y'all guys, when we're talking about like this whole Me Too thing, you see how that shit worked out for Hollywood, right? It then they almost brought down the whole fucking industry because no one could be trusted. Everybody was saying everybody did something. You saw how bad that was. Now imagine a fucking space where a lot of people don't even know what's going on, but then the idea of what people hear when they hear about the manosphere, when they hear about red pill and all these other, let's not even get into all these other fucking pills out here, right? That people popping. Nobody know. Once they start hearing about this shit, all these messages out there, what do you think? What do you think the media is gonna do? Right? And then the small shit, you were so lucky that there were only a few big channels that were able to pick this up. This didn't even go, like, we're talking about like mainstream. This didn't even go mainstream. You got to understand, there are other platforms outside of YouTube. What if this jumped out to a different platform? Go ahead.
It would have happened. It would have happened if this shit had waited until they reached 1 million subs. Had they reached 1 million subs and then the Simone bullshit happened, would have been terrible. Now, this is the thing that's happening. The same way that feminism or whatever factors you want to blame for creating this culture of women that's arrogant, cocky, argumentative, combative. They don't want to do anything a man says just for the sake of, I'm not going to do what a man says, no matter how helpful or how positive what the man is saying. They're like, no, because I don't do what men tell me to do. They don't even listen to what the man said. All they know is I've been trained not to do what men tell me. So I'm going to resist any type of direction or leadership from a man because I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't listen to no. Okay, that's the type of woman that they bred currently. That's the majority of these chicks out here, right? Okay, so what happens when a chick has that attitude? What happens when a chick has that attitude is the only type of men that can bear to be around her are what you guys love calling beta males and simps.
Boom.
So they created this force field that the only people that's willing to deal with that is the weakest of men.
Yep.
So now their argument's gonna be, all these men are weak and men are this and these men are pathetic. No, the only men that will fuck with you are pathetic. Now, that's the exact type of phenomenon that's happening now because some of y'all gonna say, yeah, but Myron and Fred still have girls going on the podcast, so you lose and they win. Yeah, the only girls that go on a podcast after their reputation now, the only girls that go on a podcast are the girls that are blinded and thirsty for clout.
Boom.
The girls that are like, yo, I don't care what's going on over there, as long as I get to do this in the, with 4K. As long as I get to do this in 4K, they can talk to me anywhere they want. I don't care. As long as I get to get up there and give my Instagram and give my OnlyFans and give my Twitter and give my TikTok and give my Snapchat. So what happens now is that show can only facilitate those type of females, which are the lowest, which is the narrative that Myra's trying to push, that all females are like that. Well, guess what? Those are the only type of females now that can come on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Now, as for the subs, they're creating the same phenomenon now with the subs. Now, the only subs that can last over there are the motherfuckers that are gullible, naive, weak-minded. You know what I'm saying? Tribal.
Young kids that don't know shit, right?
not
The
even
same
just
ones
young.
that call you Sims, but they're on the fucking on. It's crazy, man.
So now they have to have the same fans base as OnlyFans. Weak-minded motherfuckers that are so desperate that they'll pay for friendship. They'll pay for male interaction and male attention. That's what these niggas is doing. They're paying for male attention from Myron and Fresh, right? So this is what's gonna happen now. So they're gonna breed more of the worst. They're showcasing and promoting the worst of females. They glorify the Kiki Clouts, right? And the what's the other girl, Throat God or whatever.
I don't even know. Like, this is weird, man.
Her claim to fame is sucking off an entire basketball team. That's her claim to fame. And she went on No Jumper first and got that fame. So no wonder that they're in cahoots right now.
Birds of a feather flock together, bro.
Right. So that's what they're breeding. They're breeding the worst in females and they're breeding the worst in males. And they're consciously and subconsciously teaching dudes to accept those type of chicks and support those type of women, right? This is where we are. They keep paying Danny to come back on the show. Danny's on OnlyFans. Right? She's a single mom on OnlyFans. So this is the element that they want to promote. But if a chick comes on there, intelligent, classy, in a relationship, doesn't sleep around, what is Myra gonna do to her? Attack her. That's cap. That's cap. And you're like this, and you're like that. So those type of chicks get no type of cooperation. They're not allowed to say anything. They're not allowed to make their points, right? But Kiki can come on there and talk about her body count, though. But Throat God can come on there and talk about how good she sucks dick.
You know what's crazy? That's such an excellent point, because those are the same kind of girls that these dudes fucking complain about. And that's what I want to fucking understand. You guys complain about women being this, women being that. Isn't this the type of woman, the one that are smart, the one that actually understand to a certain degree what is going on in the perspective of relationship? Aren't those the types of chicks that you guys are gonna be looking for? All those so-called unicorns you guys call? Isn't that the ones you want to hear from? Aren't those the kind of women out there you want to hear the perspective to understand, okay, what is it that's going on? What is the mentality that's happening? And where can I find women like you, right? Because real talk, that's what you guys are looking for. But instead, you guys are being shown women who are only going to finesse you. But guess what? Y'all want to come over here and hate and whatnot? I'm going to tell you this right now. This podcast is growing. Every freaking day it's going up. So I don't know what the fuck to tell you guys, but I'm going to tell you this to the Fresh and Fit stands out here. The women y'all want, because we're almost 20% at this point, they over here watching this, and they don't agree with the kind of shit that y'all looking at over here. The women and the men that's going to be getting together to be able to help foster good relationships. They over here. So you gonna listen to that dog pile shit where they just sit there and beat on women and show you the world or the worst perspective out there, right? You keep buying into that image, but don't be surprised when you miss out on the real ones that walk come by in your life because you are looking for the wrong things. And that's what we're trying to stop, or at least help prevent, for the fact that, hey, you guys thinking about this with this mentality, you will lose out on girls 100%. They don't fuck with this kind of mentality at all because it's toxic. You guys need to understand that. So when you want to call us haters, fine. But the bras you're looking for, they're over here. They're coming over here.
I ain't worried about what they calling nobody. I mean, I really don't care about that, bro. You don't have to call me to my face with that bullshit. But
they're
it's
not
like,
gonna do
look, they displaying girls that are like unleadable. Because it's like a chick don't gotta be a unicorn. She don't gotta be perfect. She don't even gotta be smart or aware. She just needs to be malleable and leadable. And first of all, most of these dudes don't have leadership skills anyway, so it's not like you really be able to do much with her. But at least you could shut up and listen and learn. But they're not even showing you the girls that are leadable. Like the chicks that they bringing on right now, dude, those girls are already too far gone because it's like, I mean, listen, that car's been in too many accidents. It got too much miles on it. It ain't worth hooking that car up. It ain't worth investing in that car. That's what these chicks are that they're showing you. The point is that that's not all that's out here, bro. It's not. You don't got to travel for it, but you can. You see what I'm saying? You don't got to go to church for it, but you can. You see what I'm saying? You don't got to meet it through a mutual family member or friend, but you can. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to find it on IG looking really, really hard, but you can. You see what I'm saying? Like there's chicks on IG with 500 followers or 1,000 followers, but they fine as hell, but they pretty much covered up, and you got to really look for a vacation picture to catch them in a bikini. But you know, but they're with their family, they're in a bikini, but they with their niece. You're like, damn, this chick got a body, but she just standing like a square. Yeah, well, are you sure that she does that for her man though? You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of chicks out here that are still pretty reserved, is still kind of conservative. You just got to know how to find them. But the thing is that even if you did find them, what would you do with them? What would you do with them?
I would argue they wouldn't even know how to approach them. They wouldn't know what to say.
Can you lead her? Can you clue her in on what's going on? Because these chicks are confused. There's chicks out here that aren't fully tainted, but they're still confused. They might not know exactly what's wrong and why it's wrong, but they know something's not right. They know something's off. So are you going to be the dude that's going to bring them that information, that's going to, you know, tighten them up and give them some direction and some leadership? So when we out here talking to these females, because we working on that, we working on bringing more women into the space. But see, y'all so brainwashed and conditioned. I'm going to stop saying y'all because I don't know your subs like that, and I don't assume that all the subs think and act like Fresh and Fit subs, right? But what I'm saying is that there are a lot of guys out there that jump to these conclusions because they're so conditioned and you know, they're so I don't know what you call it, red pill rage or whatever, but they misinterpret things just like females do. So it's like it's like, oh, are you bringing these girls on and agreeing with them? Oh, you're simping. It's like, no, we're trying to show you how to.
This is how you interact with women.
Right, we're trying to show you how to interact with these chicks so that you can lead the chicks out the darkness into some lightness. So when I'm interviewing chicks and I'm dealing with chicks, I'm diagnosing them, right? I'm giving them therapy. They just don't know it until they're all the way in the middle. My last interview, I made a chick cry, but I made a chick cry because I made her see, oh shit, that's why my boyfriend thinks like that. That's why he gets upset when I do that. All this time I didn't understand, and now I see it from his perspective. And that's what you're supposed to be doing as a man, bro. Okay? You're supposed to be making things better. Okay? Make things better. If you're interacting with children, you should be making them better. If you're not, stop talking to people's kids. When you're interacting with women, you're supposed to be making them better. If you're not, then just beat it and get the hell out of there, or just stop running your mouth and get the hell out of there. You see what I'm saying? So we're trying to show you how to interact with chicks so that you can learn how to be a leader and get your personal woman on the right page. Stop worrying about what's going on out here with everybody else.
That's facts. Because a lot of times, man, they try to get you guys, they fool you guys into thinking going out here and having these rotations and having these stuff is cool and doing that. All you're doing is increasing your chance of getting fucking that itch you can't scratch or getting your feelings hurt. Because let's face it, man, ain't none of y'all out there got enough experience to go out there and just fuck a chick multiple times and not catch feelings. Because let's face it, y'all want to talk about chicks, these chicks are more cold-hearted than some of y'all dudes out there, guaranteed. All right, so y'all out there, you guys don't understand how much they are serving you guys up for a silver platter. You guys don't get it because a lot of these women, you think on their side, you think most of them have coaching. Now, shout out to the ones out there who have channels. I know some of you guys also watch this too as well. But shout out to you guys who have channels and you're actually appreciating the positivity. And we got some news for you guys later on too as well. But the main thing is, you think you're gonna go out there? Other channels who are preaching toxic shit. They're teaching these girls how to look for guys like you. Like, man, when I was doing my research on this shit, because I'm gonna make videos on this stuff, it's unreal. It's like there was one I was seeing where she was basically saying, yeah, I don't like to just sit there and ask the guy for a meetup fee or whatever it is. I like to make them fall in love with me. I like to date them, right? I like to play them to make them feel like that I'm the one for them. And then go as long as she can without giving them sex. And then when they try to push for sex, she's gonna be like, I thought my last boyfriend, He's always pushing for sex, and he was such an asshole. And I thought you were different. Meanwhile, they're sitting there waiting to see what the fuck you gonna do. So then when you go ahead and back off, like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to be that hateful guy. Guess what? She's like, ha, got him. And she gonna go over there and fuck that same ex that she said was pushy. They are teaching them how to fucking finesse y'all. Y'all don't understand. There's a whole crop of fucking women, new generation coming out, and all they know is how to take money out of your fucking pocket and put it into theirs. That's all they're learning right now from all of these giant role models. Even your godfathers, Fresh and Fit over here. That's what they're learning from, because these girls they're bringing up, they're paying them. They're taking money from them niggas.
Like Brittany Renner. That's the role model.
That's what it is. She got a whole book, bro. She got a whole book. Y'all don't understand. That's why when we're even seeing this stuff, right? Exactly. So we're coming over here like, bro, we can't save everybody. We can't help. That's new superhead. You can't save anybody. You can't save anybody, everybody. But here's the thing.
Superhead is. They're like, wait, who?
Hey, I would tell you.
They got no game. They got no game. Because after it happened, his chick went and blasted it on Twitter. That's how you know he got no game. Let me tell you something. You got game, ain't no chicks out here exposing you, bro.
No.
If you got game, you see what I'm saying? Think about it. Girls get mad all the time. Girls get ghosted by alphas all the time. Girls don't get commitment from dudes that they really like all the time. Does that mean that they take to social media and expose him? Come on, man. If you got and a chick respect you, she ain't putting your business out in the street like that. Come on, bro.
Nah, they only expose the beta dudes, man, when they really want to make you suffer. The quote-unquote beta guys, right? The guys who literally... And guess what? When they expose them, they're always doing the most saddest, cringiest shit. You see what I'm saying? That's how they know. That's how these girls know they're going to get sympathy from from social media, because they know that they just caught you in doing the most simplest, weakest shit, and they're ready to expose you. That's why a lot of these people who get exposed are rappers, athletes. You look on fucking TMZ. Look at exactly. None of these guys get respected. But who are the same people that these motherfuckers have on? The same motherfuckers. These entertainers. It doesn't get you respect, man.
Being rich did not get you respect, bro. Let me tell you something. It ain't about how much money you have. It's about how you spend your money. About how you carry yourself, bro. Just because you got a lot of money don't mean the chick gonna respect or like you. She'll just look at you as a sucker with money. That's it. You're a dumb motherfucker with money. That's all. Come on. Yo, my boss used to tell us something all the time, bro. It's some pimp shit, but it's some real shit. He tells us all the time. He said, you over here not taking chicks seriously because they broke. He said, you show me a pretty girl, I'll show you a girl that can go get you some money. You know what I'm saying? In other words, what he's trying to say is,
put them to work.
You ain't gotta have money, bro. As long as you got game, you carry yourself in a certain way, and the chick got a certain attraction for you, bro. She'll go play some other sucker, because there's plenty of them. She'll go play some suckers, and she'll come and share it with you. She'll be like, this idiot paid me $500 for this. It'd be like, real baby. She'll be like, yeah, let's go out. What restaurant you want to go to?
That's the same shit I be telling these motherfuckers, bro. They be clowning y'all. Y'all don't even know it, bro. Let me tell you this. If you've never had a conversation with a girl where she's actually clowning another dude who is pining after her, like literally, that means you're the dude she's talking shit about to another nigga. Just understand that, because girls already know who they're dealing with. They already know who the fucking niggas with insecurities. They already know who the dudes who are already fucking around, who the weak. They already know. They already know who the guys are gonna play like this. They know, and you guys are serving it up. That's what I'm saying. So if a girl already knows how to figure you out, if she's already figured you out, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, because you're either a plaything or she's just gonna leave you. That's just how it is. I mean, you guys got to understand this. And right now, a lot of you motherfuckers, for you, those of you stands out there, they're not even paying attention, right? Because you're always talking about, you're talking about FreshandFit. You're always talking about it, but you miss all the other content where we actually have women over and we actually talk to them about certain shit like this. And guess what? Number one thing they talk about, right? Hey, guys who lead with all this stupid shit, right? The money and whatnot, they're boring. They have nothing, no substance, no personality. They say that, but you only come to the video where we talk about your dear leaders. Why? You don't see any of the other helpful content that can help you out. And that's why we are in the space. We're not stopping. So you can keep coming to these videos, but I'm going to let you guys know right now, there is content out there that is teaching you real game. And it's not hidden behind a paywall. It's out there riding the hoping. And it's 10 times better than what you'll get from a $600 course. Because they're teaching you to spam inboxes, spam all these sites and shit, right? And then one thing that you can't do is you don't have a fucking podcast making $10,000 to leverage it for some chick. You ain't got that. So you're not going to see the same result because the game and the personality isn't there. None of it is.
Right.
You're just as empty as your fucking wallet.
Yeah, some dude was telling me that though. He was like, he was saying that the reason why their advice is actually valuable is because they lames. He was saying that if you're a natural and you always had game and you always attracted women, then your advice ain't useful. It don't mean nothing. So Fresh and Fit, their advice is useful because they didn't used to not get girls and this type of shit and that type of shit. So they figured out how and whatever. So they're the ones that's really gonna give us the game and the advice. And I thought about that. I said, yeah, but they're still not getting girls. What the fuck are you talking about? They still got to use all this other extra bullshit, and it don't even work.
That's so fucking dumb. And honestly, the one person that you at least want to learn from is a motherfucker that's already fucking doing it. Damn if he's a natural or not. You want to learn from the motherfucker that's doing it.
But not only that, how the fuck do you know he's a natural? Motherfuckers try to tell me you're natural, and you're just like, how? Nigga, you don't know what the fuck my youth was like. You don't know what my teen years.
Facts.
What the fuck is you talking about?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
You had to learn by talking to women.
Right? Hold on. I used to not have no tattoos. I used to be fucking skinny. I used to have no motherfucking car. My first 2 or 3 cars were hoopties. And all through that time, I was figuring out how to get good results with chicks. None of it was natural. What do you fuck is you, nigga? So the thing is, you assuming that. So if that's the case, that means that I got it so down packed that all you smell is genuine, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can learn too. Maybe you should make a start. But listen, these motherfuckers is gonna get you jammed up, bro.
Facts.
All their game is risky. I'm telling you right now. Fresh's game is risky as shit. You flying bitches in from random cities and letting them stay at your apartment, nigga, that's risky. Bruh. No goons in hold on. How you know she don't know no goons in Miami and just don't leave your apartment door open?
Facts.
In the middle of the night while you sleeping, and then he be leaving chicks at his apartment alone.
What?
And he don't know that you just
with quote unquote $200,000 worth of equipment. Come on,
no, not Myron. Fresh.
Fresh. That nigga.
Bro, hold on. That's risky, right?
That's true.
Smashing every broad raw, nigga. That's risky. You see what I'm saying? They coming from other cities and shit. You don't know what kind of heebie-jeebie they got, right? Then Myron, all his leveraging stuff and all this other kind of shit, bro. That's risky. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, especially this Me Too environment.
Bro, right. Even the way they talk to these chicks and interact with these chicks is risky. You don't know who her man is. You don't know who her brother is. You don't know who her baby daddy is. And y'all just be, man, y'all be taking a lot of freaking.
They even,
like
and I want to ask you this question because I noticed that during the shows, when I was doing my research on these motherfuckers, right? And y'all don't understand, man. Watching this nigga is fun, just to put a good show together for y'all. It's cringy as fuck, right? Real talk. Like, y'all, that's crazy. Y'all demand this shit, and then most of y'all come in the comments and hate. So I don't get it. But like when I was watching some of the shows, I noticed that they would always, before they didn't used to point this out, but like afterwards, when I started watching certain clips, they started like actually putting the message out. Yo, guys, you're worried about your girls flying down here. We're not fucking your girls. You're not fucking your girls. Where did that fucking change come from? And did they actually fuck girls that like that actually belong to some of these dudes out here that watch the show? Because why else would they keep saying that shit?
I'm trying to figure out why they still got subs when we've already seen a chick stomping on Myron's foot, like stomping on this nigga's foot like a roach. Then couple episodes later, I see some sexy ass African chick slapping him up, and I'm just like, y'all look up the dudes that get slapped by chicks on live air.
Nigga, like, you kidding me?
Bro, hell no. I only been slapped by a chick once in my life, and I appreciated the experience because it never happened before. Like I was happy that it happened because I was like, yo, I lived so long You know, I lived so many years and I never got slapped by a chick. And it was a chick that I had dealt with her way back in the past. I hooked up with her in Miami. She came from Italy, changed her whole plans and everything. She was supposed to stay on South Beach. She met me and just said, forget the hotel. She just stayed at my place the whole time, that whole trip. She went back to New York. And a few months later, I went to New York and I ended up staying with her because I went to New York for work and I did the same thing. I was like, fuck the hotel.
Yeah.
Fuck family. And I just stayed with her the whole time. She gave me a key to her place and everything. So that was dope. And then like a couple years went by, she came to Miami again, and we linked up at can't remember the name of the hotel right now, but it's a popular place that have like really banging ass pool parties. And we were dancing, drinking, having a real good time. My boy was there. He met a chick there. It was awesome. Like I ran into her there, so it was crazy. And she had a short black skirt on. And we were in the club, like dancing and partying, and there was like a big bucket of ice in the VIP. It was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was filled with ice, right? So I don't know why I thought it would have been. Why I thought it would have been funny. So I picked her up, like I had her legs around my waist, and she thought I was just like gonna just like make out with her or something like that. But nah, I was fucking with her. So I sat her down in the ice. I don't know why I thought it was funny. I must have been so drunk, so high, but for whatever reason in my head, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So because she had like the short skirt on or whatever, and I knew she had no panties on. So I sat her in the ice. She jumped up out the ice and slapped me. She went home with me that night or whatever, but that's the only time I ever got slapped by a woman.
Man, see, I've never been hit by. I've been a girl tried to stab me, and that's my ex-wife. We were married, and show you how toxic that shit was. But no, I've never had a chick slap me, bro. That's the thing. That's how you know these girls don't have respect for y'all, bro. If anything, they're like timid. They're like very timid around you. Like they're not trying to like fuck up some shit or even get you mad. You know what I'm saying?
I deserved it.
Yeah, as long as you don't do anything crazy or act out of your frame, a woman is not. That's what I said before. You can't let her know or figure you out, right? If she figures you out, then she knows how to fucking play with you. But if she doesn't know how you're gonna react in certain situations, a woman's not gonna play with you like that. She don't know if you won't fucking outright smack her. Like here's the thing.
She just met the dude. She had just met Myron 40 minutes prior.
Yeah.
He was slapping him. That's what I was thinking. I was like, you even know this dude? You slapping the shit out of him 3 times.
That brings up a good point because it's like, hey, because typically they gotta like at least gotta like at least fuck you or some shit before that. I mean, there's got to be some kind of emotion involved for her to be able to get to that level. But if she's already got,
she's like 5'5". This dude is 6'3", and she's slapping.
Fellas, if a woman slaps you,
still got supported. How you support you out here getting slapped up like that? That's great.
Here's the thing. I had a theory on that, bro. Because here's the thing. What a lot of people don't understand is that they've lost quite a bit, but a lot of their subs, where that's coming from right now, they still got that promo going. That's not gonna go. They got another. They got that Rolex. So people are just joining in right now. It's starting to make its round. Yeah, the PS5, a Rolex, a free trip to Miami, and go sit backstage. So that promo is still going on. So here's the thing, like, right, and that's how you have these guys like Adam 22 coming on the podcast, and all these other guys coming on, right? This is all to this is the game that I said they're gonna play earlier. I said that I called this way back, right? I'm like, this is media 101, guys. Like, here's the thing. One thing I love about the media is the ultimate version of sales, right? If you want to talk about like door to door and then the hierarchy, car sales, mortgage, and whatnot, once you have like a large influence platform, it's the ultimate version of sales. And that's what these guys are doing. So now it's like, oh shit, we still got about 300K valid ones right now. Let's get them to buy into this fucking bullshit that we got and have them share it to another 1,000 people, because these guys are spamming. I'm telling you, they're going in the form of spamming. It is smart. It is smart. That's why I don't knock them for them. Like, it's a nice business hustle, but is it for the actual content itself that you guys are promoting to proportion to help guys? It's not that. So it's like building a house on fucking rocks, not rocks. What do you call it? Quicksand. Yeah, because then what
is this dude's name, bro? The fat guy that they had on there. Virginity Rocks dude. What is his name?
Oh, Skippy.
Yeah, we gotta get Skippy on, bro, because they gave this motherfucker no useful advice, no nothing.
I felt bad about it, bro. He basically just talked down to the dude, and it got to the point where there was a part where Fresh, I think, actually had a heart and stepped in. I gotta pull that clip. I think I got it somewhere, but it was bad. It was bad.
Skippy is a gold mine.
My goodness.
That's a
no,
Jenny
we
Jones
gotta talk to
makeover
him.
waiting happen.
No, because here's the thing. Oh, bro, we definitely should have him on. For sure. Get some actual fucking advice.
Let me get Skippy for 6 months, bro. What's going down?
Bro, it transformed that man to a killer. Nah, we not gonna. Hey, Skippy, nobody talking at you, bro. We gonna tell you some real game, bro. Not what these guys are telling you, bro. Because they literally they just told your entire life. Hey guys, by the way, we have the call in link open. All right, because now we're getting into some man shit, bro. We gonna talk about some man shit. All right, so we got that out of the way because you guys know, guys. Look, listen. Ian is a valuable member of our show, man. Like a valuable part of our show. So if some shit's going down, and he's the kind of person like I know personally, just over this stuff just going down, and he's the kind of person. Real talk, I get the idea that he wouldn't have done this stuff unless somebody was pushed, right? Even making this video, doing all this stuff, after the fact, it wouldn't have been done unless something like that was pushed. He doesn't seem like the guy that just go out right and try to fucking go after people. So that's why I said when you guys talking about cloud chaser, matter of fact, direct that motherfucker at me because I'm over here doing the live. I'm cloud chasing right here. And guess what, motherfuckers? I don't give a shit because y'all are here. So if you think you're gonna appeal to my goddamn morality, I already knew what the fuck I was getting into when I got into this motherfucker. I already knew you guys were gonna get into this shit, so I don't care. But y'all coming after them, it doesn't make any sense, and that's part of the reason why we had to cover this shit because I wanted to say, hey, listen, let's break this down so these guys can understand where you're coming from, what's going on, and that way we understand. Because I did a video reacting to it, but I think it'd be better for our audience to at least hear from you because they've seen you on the show.
Well,
at this point,
you know what you do?
Go ahead.
Tell them to get in the comments, super chat or whatever, and just ask.
Oh, we got some people backstage here too.
Yeah, that's what the hell it is you want to
Let's oh shit. We got Matt and Christian. All right, we're gonna get you guys on. Hey, so guys, the calling link's open. All right, right now, obviously we're coming off the Fresh and Bozo topic, but here's the thing. All right, we can talk about anything. We can talk about Fresh and Fit. I don't care, man. Like literally, this is that kind of platform, bro, and we're that kind of dude. So
tell them to DM Skippy. Everybody DM Skippy.
Hey, yeah. If you guys know, does he have a YouTube channel?
He has a YouTube and an Instagram.
Hey, DM Skippy right now. If you guys can, because I don't think you guys saw this fucking tape, bro. I don't think you guys saw this, guys, man. Like DM Skippy, let him fucking know that, hey, bro, we'll have you on and we'll have an actual conversation that's gonna help you with women. Hey, Skippy, if you
I don't fuck women. We worry about that later. I want Skippy for 6 months to a year. My
Skippy
last client lost 42 pounds in 2 months.
Oh yeah. Hey,
I'm gonna turn that whole shit around.
Yeah, and they didn't even bro. Come on, man. We'll get some muscles on you. Get you you got contacts. This is some contact lenses, bro. Get you some swag, and you'll be straight.
He's a gold mine,
bro. He man.
Get in shape. His channel will blow the fuck up.
No, for real. And that's the kind of transformation that would be.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh Lord,
the girls
Lord.
For him because the girls gonna want the clout. Every model gonna want to be the first model to take his virginity.
The only thing is he just got to know how to handle that. But I think that's where being a man would come from. Go ahead.
What Skippy need to do is he need to go through a transformation. Then after he go through the transformation, he needs to have like some type of audition or auction or something where a bunch of beautiful women compete to basically take his virginity, like to be the girl that he dates after the transformation. I'm telling you.
Hit him up. It's like, yo, what this is gonna help you out. Let's get. Hey guys, let's go ahead. We're gonna get everything. We're gonna get some people on here right now. Matt, welcome to the stream, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm good, my guy. Sorry, I'm on the road, so it's not my usual setup. But I wanted to get in on.
I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you.
Hey, yo, Matt, how long you been in the military?
I was active duty 5 years, so I've been out a while now. 2012. So what's that put us at? Almost 10 years out after the fact.
How I knew that?
Yeah. So you guys hit it on the head with the Skippy thing. I actually saw that video. I made a response video to that. I'm not popular, but I was pissed. I was so pissed. I made a video because Myron was given dangerous advice to Skippy. Skippy needs.
Can you elaborate on that too?
So I'm baseline for me. I'm a medical professional, so I've had a lot of exposure to people with mental health issues, and Skippy, you could just tell by his demeanor, he was on edge. He has some legit mental health concerns, right? And he admitted that on the show to everybody, was upfront and honest about it. And the problem with Myron is he was trying to give him that tough love. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm a military guy. I've seen a lot of tough love. I've seen it be effective, but that was not the time or the place or the person to give it to. Skippy needed the uplifting, how we going to get you up, not you're a baby, wham, wham, wham. He was downright insulting the man on his show, which was just damn disrespectful, and I wasn't having any of that. So I was pissed, and I don't get pissed about much, and that really took me off. I reached out to Skippy on Instagram. I said, man, he was going on about his credit. I will add him as an authorized user on my mother effing credit card if that helps get his credit score up. I will help him train. I mean, I'll defer to Ande on that one a little bit because, you know, he's bringing the heat there. But this man needs help. He doesn't need smashed down. And he just dogpiled on this dude that came on his show. At least Fresh was empathic enough to like cut the show a little bit early. He was like,
I saw that.
We got to cut it here.
I noticed that. It was that bad. That's how you know, man. Like, this nigga has no fucking sense of like other people's perspective. It's like, how could you not see that your own guest is feeling, bro? It was just like, oh my god, this guy does not want to be here.
Visually shaking. He had to pause, and then his response was, Skippy was like, hey, are you okay? He's like, you know, there's things I want to say, but I know I'm not supposed to. So I'm just going to say, okay, I hear you. I'm going to work on it. Like, how bad is that? This dude Myron has no business giving counseling advice, especially mental health counseling advice. It would not surprise me, and I hate to say this, he could be the reason Skippy gets pushed over the edge. Like,
facts.
Oh, of course.
No, absolutely. Oh my god!
That's what I'm
you
saying.
kidding
2
me?
days later, 3 days later, I wouldn't be shocked if we heard Skippy isn't here anymore, chat.
Not to mention these DM demons, like these motherfuckers they got running around here that's gonna be sending DMs afterwards, right? It's not even funny. And you know what the crazy thing is, man? Part of one thing that they brag on the podcast, especially Myron Grace, we help guys get laid. One time there was a guy who called up in here and said he almost deleted himself from Earth, and our podcast saved him. I'm like, what? If your podcast, oh hell no. Oh Lord.
You should have saw the live chat that was going on. Everybody was saying, yeah,
it's over.
Show them, give them that. This is tough, but you need it. Not the right person, not the right time, not the right strategy.
And not only that, these fools don't understand what it's like. You're going on a podcast where potentially thousands of people are going to be watching you, right? And on top of it, it's a completely different scene. It's a completely different vibe. So those guys who are sitting there like keyboard warriors just chilling back there, give them hell. If that was you, on that same podcast, you wouldn't even have the nerve to keep yourself together, most of y'all.
And then the ladies on the show even were trying to give Skippy some love. They were saying, hey, I want to hear your story. Oh, I want to answer your question. Myron cut them off. He said, no, we're not focused on that. You got to focus on you before you even talk to ladies. And like, there's some truth in that, but don't cut the man off on the show, especially when the ladies are trying to give him some love.
Our platonic conversation. They wasn't just concerned, man. You know, they come on, he's harmless.
They probably sense it because girls they can understand that subtext. They were like, oh shit, like this motherfucker. And then naturally they want to be able to smooth out tense situations because it's like, yo, hey, it's okay. And they're doing what they're born to do. Real talk. They're supposed to, but only this nigga is not getting the fucking social cues. This is what I'm telling you, motherfuckers, man. He's out here shooting bricks. He's shooting bricks. He can't even.
Dudes at home. What about the Skippy like guys that are?
And there's a lot of them motherfuckers out there. Them niggas that roll up in the schools, right? They load up and unload in schools. That's them niggas.
Yes. It was dangerous. It was dangerous what he did on that show. Like downright.
Yeah, I think Skippy has a ton of potential, bro. I'm looking at this. I'm
100%. I love his take. I love his attitude.
Because he's already set such a contrast that if he just goes anyway in the direction of improvement, it's going to be
just
dramatic.
a little progress. Just a
And
little progress.
He already has an audience.
Mhm.
So I think that Skippy would be an exceptional vehicle
Mhm.
to inspire and uplift a whole demographic of dudes who are feeling the same way.
Who are
And
just like him, yep.
He's like the
Because
poster
people
boy
are
for that.
already, people want him to win. They're already
That's
cheering
what I'm
him
saying.
on.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
want him to They want him to win. It's like, listen, he don't got to be a ladies killer. He don't got to get the girls plural. But if he could just build some confidence, get himself in above average shape, start making some better investments, start generating some money through said celebrity and success and discipline, what will happen is he'll be at least able to land a girl who might even have a similar experience. She might have been an ugly duckling. Maybe she was obese. Maybe she was overweight, and she got tip top, right? He just needs a woman, just one woman, right? And with his platform, he would have a way better shot of finding said woman. You understand what I'm saying? And then his transformation would, obviously be public. So that respect and that admiration for him would already be built into her psyche. So I think that he really has an opportunity to make something magical happen. And I was just watching the episode the whole time. That's all I kept thinking is like, why aren't they using him? Like, I would use Skippy. Like, I would have been like, yo, Skippy, we're going to get you back out to Miami. Well, if I was Myron, I would have just trained him. I would have been like, listen, we're going to get you back out to Miami. Can you work remotely from here? You know what I'm saying? Try to figure something out where you could get him, where he could be reoccurring on the show and showing some progress, showing some progression. I mean, Myron's a sneaky, slimy, exploitative motherfucker. Why didn't he exploit that as a way to get more fitness clients?
It's because he's not thinking about that. He's thinking that, tough love is probably going to get more views. This is probably going to go viral. Me talking down to this guy. That's probably his mentality. Jeff Hill, thank you for the $5 super chat. Bruh, Skippy going from Skippy to skip to my lube. We have to make that happen. Absolutely. Listen, man. Being a nerd or being a dude could do it. These are stuff that you can change. Being fat, obviously the features you were born with. Listen, you can't change that, but you can't change the factors around you. That's why I don't have sympathies for people. Like I'm even talking about like with the whole body positivity nonsense and whatnot. It's like no. I don't respect that movement because this is something you guys can change about yourself. Get in the fucking gym and stop being lazy. All right, that's it. Unless you have some serious medical ailments that's preventing you from working out, you shouldn't be talking about the body positivity because it's something that you can change. We got another caller here, Christian. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing, bro?
I can't complain. Thank you very much, Duke and Don, and
I appreciate it
for having me. How's everything been with you guys?
Oh, we're good, man. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being on here, man. Seriously, what you got? What do you got for us, man?
No,
hey, can you turn your phone like horizontal? Yeah,
better?
be with the rest of the crew.
Landscape it.
Landscape it
like this.
Yep.
Oh,
Perfect. There you go. Now you're fitting just right. There you go. Go ahead, continue, man.
So I want to give like a huge thanks to Allende, Duke and Don for basically waking me up and Auburn Preach too about the whole FreshandFit situation. I never really truly realized like how slimy and grimy that they truly are until I actually watched Auburn Preach's show and like saw what they were doing and saw like the whole 1% man thing. I'm like, oh nah, this can't be cool. And like the way they were acting towards other content creators on their lives on that podcast, I'm like, nah, these dudes, they're like way too contradicting. They're way too they're way too incongruent, and I really hate to say it, like, and my sister actually said that to me, they're like suspectedly covertly misogynistic too.
Yeah.
I have to actually bring that word out as well. Because of like how they act and they don't even follow what they preach, and yet they out here literally making like teaching girls and all those things.
Yep.
And I want to add to Matt's point as well, and I did definitely agree with like what he's saying. And I know this because I'm autistic myself, and I'm doing everything that I can probably can to actually try to better myself by trying to practice more subtle social cues, trying to work out more, trying to be more self-disciplined in work, and trying to do everything that I do, so that I could try to be the best person of myself that I can be and not get used up and actually get screwed up. The thing is, though, with Skippy, he got the wrong information. And that's the issue that's been going on with him. And I really, truly feel sad. Like, the way that Myron posted was, like, definitely dead wrong. What he could have said was, hey, like, the hard stance probably could have worked if he just said, nah, I'm not going to do no therapy. He said just actually recommend to actually go to, like, a physical therapist where he even came on the show first off. That's number one. He needs to go see a psychologist every single day for about a month immediately.
Facts.
One before he even come by and even does the show. And then if he doesn't even do the show after that advice, then you give him the hard treatment. But until then, nah, you can't really go that route, man. Like in the way that he's doing it, the way he's kicking out, like a lot of women always trying to dominate the conversation every time while not actually coming in from like a neutral perspective and not listening to what they say and not going with like the theory versus practical route. That's why like you don't see a lot of women really respecting him on the show. It's like an embarrassment. And like most of the kickouts that I just see is just, and I analyze it thoroughly. Like some of them, I understand they're legitimate, right? But you have all these other kickouts that are literally acting a fool, and then you see him slap Myron and hit Myron in the face, all that stuff. You already know he doesn't even command respect in this room, and that's why I already know that they're frauds in itself.
Yeah.
Well, you would think if you were trying. Oh, go ahead, Andy.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, listen. I was there, man. I've been there plenty of nights. So I'm not saying that there isn't a percentage of women that are unruly and disrespectful,
right,
and need to be removed.
Right.
But those women will always expose themselves. What Myron does is a lot of instigating. He does a lot of agitating and a lot of instigating. So he's not genuinely kicking these women out to punish bad behavior. First of all, it's not on you to punish their behavior. You have no personal relationship with a woman. You're not in a position to be punishing her. You just evict her from the situation for the better good and sanity of what you're trying to do. That's completely different than agitating, instigating these altercations so that you can kick the girl out. Having the subs vote on it and all that kind of stuff. Like, come on,
that's bullshit.
That's just ridiculous. At that point, it really does become like a Survivor / Jerry Springer / you get what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's what it is. It's cheap, low vibration reality TV at that point.
That's bullshit.
Right. And all I'm saying is what that does is it actually diminishes the integrity of what it is that you're doing. So, I don't want to bring up Kevin Samuels because we do that way too often, but right now there's no better example. So if you look at what Kevin Samuels is doing, he's laying down the truth, but he's not being lazy about it. He's at least first doing his investigation. Absolutely. He's questioning the women. He's getting down to the truth, right? And he's getting these women to tell on themselves. He's getting them to confirm it, but he's not guessing. He's not assuming anything. Even if he already in his head is thinking something, he don't put it on the chick until she tells on herself. So he's mastered the ability to get these women to tell on themselves. Now, once you've done that, now you can diagnose it, and now you can go ahead and give that advice and give that information, and now it's on that person what they want to do with it. So, okay, Fresh and Fit is marketed as a male channel, whatever, and that's great. That's wonderful. I get it. That's the audience. But that doesn't mean that you can't try to help and course correct these women, and B, that isn't helpful for men. How is it not helpful for men to diagnose these chicks, get to the root of the issue, right? Have the ability to change their mind, right? Or at least get them to question their preconceived notions and show men how to have these conversations. Because guess what? We got to deal with that same mentality and that same way of thinking when we're interacting with the modern women. We got to deal with it. Thank you, baby. Right? We got to deal with it. So where are you showing men how to go through those conversations, go through those topics and those scenarios? So Fresh and Fit, what they should be doing with that luxury of having those women at your disposal is you should be showing guys how to go have that conversation tomorrow. Or how to deal with these chicks in the workplace, how to deal with these chicks at school safely. You know what I'm saying? How to have conversations on dates. I counsel a lot of women on why they're turning guys away on first dates and they don't even realize it, right? The independent woman and all this other kind of stuff, there's nothing wrong with having a job and being employed and all that. The problem is these chicks lead with that. They go on the date and immediately start talking about work, and it's like that guy's on a date with an attractive woman. The last thing he wants to do is talk about work.
Yeah, no,
right? But these women don't know that. These women have no idea. They don't know that. But at the same token, a lot of the guys are actually entertaining that conversation, and they don't want to. They'll entertain the conversation, they'll pay the check when it comes, and then they won't be motivated to go out with that woman again. But my point is that relationship actually could have went somewhere because physically they might have been attracted to each other, And the relationship didn't go anywhere because the guy didn't know how to have the conversation. The guy didn't know how to say, hey, baby, I don't want to talk about work right now. He didn't know how to diffuse that situation without offending her. He didn't know how to tell her, I'm not interested in hearing you talk about politics. I'm not interested in hearing you talk about this promotion that you're up for. He didn't know how to tell her that without offending her, right? So when Fresh and Fit or Myron is jumping down chicks' throats saying, "Yo, real talk, I'm gonna keep it straight 100 facts with you." You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Quite frankly, men don't care about how much money you make. Okay, men don't care about. It's like, whoa. There's a way to say it to her that she'll actually get it. The way that you're saying it is gonna offend her.
Yeah.
Kind of like how he told Skippy it was going to push him over the edge. I mean, the information wasn't untrue. No. Like, there's things that need to be done, but the way you go about giving that message, and I think the reason that they don't show that information and how to have these conversations with ladies is, unlike Kevin Samuels, they don't have the ability to.
Mm-hmm.
Go
ahead, CJ. I mean, go ahead, Chris.
All right, and you know the thing is, I have that same problem myself because I have the same problem actually trying to communicate with, because I'm very extremely direct to like a T, and sometimes like the directness can actually have some women get offended and can even have my sister get offended at times. So that's why I'm trying to do my best to make sure that I can try to communicate properly, have the proper evidence, so I'll be able to try to communicate so that it's like a win-win situation. And that's been my issue. And with the whole independent situation I had, I actually went on a date with a woman that was saying that, oh, my career comes first. You got to try and put more effort and actually keep me around. Otherwise, I'm gone. And that was the start saying, you know what? Oh, she's going to be a career woman. She's going to be putting a job first for anyone else. Nah, she's not the right fit for me. So I see where INA's coming from as well. But when you try and drill a certain notion just to fit an agenda, ours is not really coming off as genuine. You're just trying to basically try to fit a narrative just for clout.
It's trying to fit a freaking narrative, man. That's part of the reason why we were motivated to do this, man. Because it's like, yo, there's a lot of things out here. It's not making sense because I'm looking at my reality, right? And I'm not saying we disagree with the red pill. There's certain facts about female. I mean, some of these women be wilding out here, and they need to be called out for it. However, we have to differentiate between the two because here's the thing: a lot of women who are the quote unquote the unicorns these guys are looking for, they're not gonna speak up because look at what happens to them when they speak up, they get destroyed by other women. When women talk about society this, society is pressure, guess what? They're not talking about men. They're talking about other women. Other women put more pressure on women than actual dudes themselves. So it's the appeal of the group. It's what these females are worried about, and that's the thing. So what these guys don't understand is when they're dealing with this kind of mentality, right? It's that kind of group thing that a lot of men, you have to understand the female nature portion of it. However, now what you're trying to paint a picture that no, it's not that they're good women out there. It's that no, most likely you're gonna meet a bad one, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Well, when these guys, exactly, right, and when these guys go over and they go talk to the girls,
that don't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
But listen, here's
Chris.
the thing, though. This is there's got to be some kind of man. It's like, all right, so okay, all women are like that. Yeah, that's true to an extent. Yes, all women are women. So by definition, all women are like that. They're gonna have the same characteristics and so on and so forth. But there's a component, there's an element that's missing, and that element is male leadership.
Yeah.
So what's the difference to a woman just succumbing to, the pitfalls of being a woman and subscribing to that groupthink? What's the difference between that and a chick that's in her role, right? In a happy, stable relationship, right? Because when the relationship is where it needs to be, the woman needs less of that female attention and that time with the girls.
Yep.
We see how when women need time with the girls and they always want to go to the girl. A lot of times that's because there's so many damn things lacking in her relationship. That's why she's like, oh no, I gotta have girls' night out and I have to go drink wine with my girls. I gotta spend time with my girls. Let me tell you something right now. What's the difference between a woman that says shit like that and a woman that has all the freedom in the world to go hang out with her girls, but she doesn't? She doesn't. She'd rather spend time with her man. Whenever she has time, she is pining to spend that time with him. She's like, constantly trying to find more quality time with her man. to the point where it's almost like she's nagging him, right? So what's the difference between that girl and the girl that can't wait to get out and go spend time with her friends? So what I'm trying to say is we're giving men information. It's like I was saying earlier to you, dude. It's not necessarily about the information. It's about how that information is interpreted by the parties. Right now, it's not that women aren't getting 100%, false or true information or whatever, right? Like feminism will mix the truth, but they'll embellish it in a way that forces the women to misinterpret it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'll give you an example of a misinterpretation. Women didn't have the right to vote until 1960, whatever the fuck. Okay, so what you're doing is you're delivering that information in a way that causes the listener to interpret it as women had no political say-so before they gave women the vote. That's incorrect.
Yeah.
Before they gave women the vote, families voted as a family, but the father was the one that put the actual vote in. But they made the decision as a family at dinner. It wasn't the man said, this is who I'm voting for. That's not how it went. They discussed it as a family. Even the children had to say so. If the children were teenagers or older, they discussed it with their parents, right? Everybody got to weigh in, and together they all put in their opinions, they all put in their arguments, and by the end of dinner, by the time the apple pie came around, they came to an agreement, and then the father would go put that vote in tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? But the way that they tell it to these young girls gives them the interpretation that women had no voice, no say-so whatsoever. That's not how femininity operates. Women have a ton of power in a relationship, a marriage, in a household, but they get it in more subtle ways, right? I don't want to use the word manipulate, but they know how to flirt with the man. They know how to cook. They know how to clean. They know how to talk softly. They know how to fuck him right. They know how to get the man to decide what they want him to decide.
Can I throw an example? I'm gonna throw an example out there. Here's the thing, and I'll let you go, Matt. Well, let me get the super chat, and I'll let you go. The big example, just to add to what you were talking about, because right around that time, man, you want to know how prohibition became a thing? It wasn't because of like the government finally got sick and tired of people selling alcohol. It was because the women made that fucking happen. Matter of fact, it was the women who got together. Exactly. They came out and said, no, we're done with the guys going on bars drinking. We're done with the guys going out and doing all this crazy stuff. So we're going to go ahead and push these politicians, because we didn't have the right to vote doing all that stuff. But we're going to push these motherfuckers to go ahead and do that, to do it the way that they're supposed to do it. And guess what? All of them got rounded up. And guess what? They stopped the ban and sale of alcohol. And guess what? What also happened afterwards was the women also pushed for the ban of prohibition too, because they realized how fucked up the streets were getting, because that spurned off, obviously, the mafia movement and all this other craziness that went on. And husbands are dying, people were dying. And it wasn't until the St. Valentine's Day massacre that happened where people were like, yo, shit. Yeah, like these motherfuckers are really fucking crazy out here. Let's legalize alcohol. But the thing is, when women talk about, throughout history, we've never had power. It's all programming, conditioning. Women, as a matter of fact, this just shows you that women, the power of subtlety that women carry, it's much stronger and much powerful than men being able to go out and overtly vote with their fucking. You guys don't understand. When women worked in the background, that's when they were the most powerful. And that's what these women don't understand nowadays. Now you're out here screaming and yelling and wagging your finger in front of a dude. You think that makes you powerful? It's just like, no, you're a second-rate guy. That's what I see you as, a second-rate dude. You try to be me, but you don't quite have the parts, and you don't quite get it right. So when I look at you trying to be like really tough and authoritative and shit like that, I find it cute, right? I don't know how many guys out there who had a girl, right, who try to act all bossy and whatnot. You're like, man, you better sit your cute ass down. What you talking about? You see what I'm saying? You put them in a play, because some of them, they try to get up there and they try to get their stuff in the feelings. There you go. But for those of y'all, it's his thing. We see it as cute. It's cute. Like you're not gonna do shit because it's his thing. Physically, it's not gonna be a problem. But here's the thing: you're not because here's the we receive that differently if the message was coming from a guy, right? If a guy's coming in and putting the fingers in the face, all of a sudden it's like, nigga, we might be throwing hands. Like,
there's a
get
threat
your hands
of
out of my head. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
That's how I handle those situations. anytime I'm dealing with a chick, you know, in public or whatever, whether she's a stranger or not, but it's usually a stranger because girls that know me don't do no shit like that.
Yep.
But when I'm dealing with a woman, I tell her immediately. As soon as I have a disagreement with a female, whatever happens, because you know, women nowadays are carrying the fuck out. And whenever they actually say something, I stop them immediately. Say, hey, let me stop you right there. Before you even go anywhere with this, let me just let you know I'm not gonna have this discussion with you. And then when they say, what do you mean? I don't argue with women. What? No. I don't argue with women. And then that automatically offends them because it's like, what are you trying to say, that I'm beneath you or something like that? No, let me explain something to you. I don't argue with women because should you raise your voice or do any of those other things, had you been a man, I would have took your teeth out your mouth.
Facts.
With my fist, right? So that's why we're gonna stop this right now. We're gonna stop it right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna let you get this one. But if you care to push it further, would you happen to have a husband or a boyfriend? Would you like to call the police? Because I'll deal with them.
Correct.
If you'd like. But I'm not gonna be out here disrespecting a woman, nor am I gonna be out here getting disrespected by a woman. Right?
Exactly.
I'm not about to do and say a bunch of things that I wouldn't allow or tolerate from a man. Just saying. And when you explain it to them like that, I'm sorry, bro, but 99.9% of the time they get it. And they respect the fact that you're putting it into perspective for them. Right?
Boom.
And they're learning something because they're like, damn, he makes a good point. Because for a moment they have to think about what you're saying and they have to actually visualize that and say, wow, if I was a guy putting my hand in his face and raising my voice and he didn't slap that dude or punch that dude, I wouldn't respect him. So I get what he's saying. I understand what he's trying to say. And when you put that little buffer on and you say, hey, because also I'm not comfortable disrespecting a female. Like, I'm not comfortable arguing with a female. I'm not comfortable yelling at a female. And then it de-escalates the situation. So what I'm trying to say is a lot of guys are ill-equipped to deal with people in general or women in general, not just in romantic environments or romantic situations. There's guys that don't know how to deal with chicks at work. They don't know how to deal with chicks at school. Like, they don't know how to deal with chicks they're not interested in, they're not attracted to.
You can't even deal with them on a podcast.
Right. They don't know how to deal with women in general. And equally, a lot of women nowadays actually don't know how to deal with men. They don't know the difference. So I have to explain to a lot of young chicks that are in relationship how to take power in the relationship because they have no idea, because they've been brainwashed to think that the femininity is weakness.
It's not.
Brainwashed to think that being submissive and cooperative is weakness, and it's actually where the power lies for a woman. Because if a woman's doing all these things, she can get pretty much anything out of the guy that he's capable of.
Yes, wars have been fought over women who understand this role. Let me get the CJ super chat and then Matt, you can go ahead. True. Why punish her if you have no interest being with her? Pick your battles wisely. Otherwise, you're just rolling around in the mud with them. That's facts. That's what I never understood about the whole punisher aspect. It's like, yo, like if she's wilding out, why would you want to put yourself in a situation unless you don't have that many options to begin with and you have no choice but to deal with the unruly woman? Because just like Yende said, that, bro, you go back to the one first older Duke and Don videos. You guys scroll all the way down, right? And it's a video where we actually had a title what Yende just said, why I don't argue with women. Yo, this should be common knowledge for a lot of dudes, right? Way before that, back when we had the old mics, the old cameras and everything, go watch that shit because we were talking about it. And exactly what I said in that video, exactly what he explained. It's a lose-lose situation. I'm not gonna look like a bitch arguing with you. I'm not. And first of all, and here's the way I explained it. You're pulling me out of my logical frame, and I'm going into the realm of emotional. And I've been in an emotional frame. I've been angry. Matter of fact, I had to take fucking y'all want to talk about anger problems? I've had anger problems before, right? Consequences of a single parent household. What do you want, bro? That's what happened. So I've had that situation. I've been in trouble when I was younger. I've been locked up. I've done hard of that. So don't sit there and do get that with me. But I understand that when you let yourself go like that, that's such a lack of control. It's not even funny. And guess what? They win. And it wasn't until I started dealing with girls who started dealing with guys who used to act like the way I used to act like and say, oh, look at this nigga. Look what I can make him do. Let me text him this real quick. Watch how you do this. And then she'll do it. And all of a sudden, the man reacts the exact same way. When I saw that, and I'm like, wait a minute. Was I this nigga? Like I had to sit.
You got played.
You see what I'm saying? I had to ask myself, but wait. Because, like, I sure as hell.
Those strings.
Exactly. Go ahead, Matt. I'm telling you, man. It's crazy.
Well, just when you were talking about, there is.
It's funny, but to bring it to your level.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Bro, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you talked about the behind the scenes power. It's so true. If you look at other cultures outside America and you see the person you're talking to, a lot of times is not the person calling the shots. The person out in front is kind of getting their marching orders from somebody else that's not talking to you. And whether that's a woman, whether that's the senior elder gentleman of the group, other cultures, the person out in front isn't really who you're messing with, really. It's those people behind the scenes. So much power. And then, Chris, to your point earlier, you were talking about this, I'm a career woman. Take that with a grain of salt, because if I had $1 for every time a lady that I knew or a lady that I knew through a friend said, I'm a career woman, but when she met that right dude, that career stuff went out the window. Done.
Boom.
Bad. Gone.
Statistically.
And why do they? And I want to get your opinion on that, Matt. Why do you think these women put that front up?
They put that front up because that's what they've been taught. That's what the whole feminine imperative is. You're a strong, independent woman. You can go do it. You don't need no man. You are all it. You are all it. But then when they find a man, But when they find a man that's true in his masculine sense, they feel comfortable going into their feminine. They've been so masculinized because A, there's not a lot of masculine men, and B, the feminine imperative has told them you can do it all, but we're meant to complement each other. So every time I've seen a boss bitch meet a strong dude who took care of shit, she wasn't so worried about being a boss bitch anymore. She wanted to be home. She wanted to maybe have some babies. It was locked. It was done.
And let me throw some game at you guys real quick. A lot of women, they put this front up, especially if you're a guy, you hear this, they put this front up because they're not confident that you can lead them in the right direction. If we're just going to be real with it, that's a whole lot of things. They're not, when they're saying, oh, I'm independent, I'm a boss bitch, that means like, nigga, I'm going to let you know right now that I'm not confident in your ability to lead this ship right now or steer this ship. So I'm going to go out and get my shit. So in case this shit don't work out, I got mine, nigga. You're going to have to figure that shit out. And that's the situation we have right now. You guys don't understand, man. I'm going to tell you this. The vast majority of dudes that ladies deal with out here are guys that listen to Fresh and Fit. The attitude, the mentality, they're weak-minded dudes. They're emotional guys. They're guys who react to females in a weird way on a podcast. They're guys who don't understand how to deal with a woman when she's in her emotions. Those are the kind of guys that a lot of women are dealing with. When we talk about that video when that one dude got shot up by that one insecure dude because he was asking her about her fucking eyelashes and leaving a review and shit, and dude just shoots her because he's like, why are you talking to my girl? That's the majority of guys girls deal with. Right there again, niggas that'll shoot you and wild out emotionally because they don't understand what it is. And to go back to Allende's point, a lot of the girls are confused because they haven't been introduced to what real masculinity looks like. They think that acting overt, emotional, and crazy is a masculine thing, but they don't realize that the man is actually reflecting an emotional version of what they would be like if they were female. So keep that in mind. And that's why over time, they tend to lose respect for these guys, even though they call them, quote unquote, the bad boys or the Pookie and Ray Rays. They tend to lose respect for them over time because they just get too in their fucking feelings. Go ahead.
And how many of them came from a situation where they didn't have a strong masculine presence in their life growing up? Their dad was gone, or their dad wasn't real strong or very masculine. I mean, that's a pretty common theme, I feel like, is they come from these situations where they didn't see a good representation of what positive masculinity looked like. So now they're out trying to be masculine. And if your lady's out masculine in you, then you messed up.
You've lost. And here's the thing. And I want to get your point on this at the end because it's happened to me too. You can lose that frame. You can lose that masculine frame. And one way I use the one time in my entire fucking life that I've ever lost that frame was when I was married because I got too fucking comfortable. In my mind, I thought once you have the ring, that I just got to focus on work. That was pretty much it. And you know what? When a lot of the guys in the space, when they talk about divorce and stuff like that, they always talk about, oh, the woman's hypergamy. She left and she's gonna go be with some rich dude and whatnot. Although, hey, go check out the last episode, why chicks date bums, right? After they leave your ass, quote unquote, good guy. There's a reason why. Because you got lazy. You stopped being the type of dude that she wanted to be in the first place. And on top of that, you probably listened to her little suggestions she was making over the relationships, and you changed and you became the exact same kind of dude she didn't want. And that's what happened to me. And the reason why I did all that was because here's the thing: I didn't like the nagging. I didn't like the talking. But at that stage in my life, I didn't know how to deal with that in that marriage, right? It's a young marriage. It was like, yo, okay, how do I tell this woman to shut the fuck up telling me what to do without being me? Because I can't just walk out of the house. I got to live with her. I got to stay here and deal with this shit. So it was best in my mind because I didn't have counselors. I didn't do any of that. Even though I pushed for counselors, it was a no-go. But I didn't know how to like diffuse that situation without creating tension because best believe there would be tension. And this woman, this came along just try to kill me. Like I'm telling you, like she tried to stab me. So it's one of those things where it's like you had to like be tact around it because emotions were high, right? So I didn't learn that piece. So my solution was, okay, fine. I'm going to just do whatever it is that you say you want to do so this shit stops. What I didn't realize at the time was that if I actually learned how to communicate with a woman properly at that time during their relationship, in terms of a marriage, if I knew how to just open up rather than just like, all right, woman, whatever it is, whatever, just stop talking. Stop. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to deal with it. I'd have probably wouldn't be in a situation right now, and I probably likely would have probably still been married. You see what I'm saying? Because I would have probably figured out, okay, these are the signs that she's giving me. This is what I need to know. This is what I need to understand, and decide to move from there. Because y'all don't understand. I got married at 19. So there's no way I was able to know this stuff. Yeah. So a lot of you guys don't even fucking notice. I was experienced young. Because here's the thing. When a lot of the older heads will tell me, yo, stop messing with these women. I was messing with a young age, bro. I was even fucking with teachers in my high school. Just, like, it was like, that's crazy, So it was one of those things where it's like, once I finally got to that stage where like, all right, I'm done fucking around, like I'm whatever. It's whatever, right? And it's like you find that girl that does something real for you, like she gives up. It's like, okay, maybe this is what a relationship, maybe a girl that's gonna ride or die. This is what it's supposed to be like. So it's like, all right, let's lock it down, right? Let's make everything happen. But what I didn't realize is there's work afterwards. You can't just say, okay, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? That was the cold, hard truth about marriage. And that's one thing, like we're talking about women that don't really understand it. Men don't get this either. There's work involved. So for me, once I got into the relationship, it was just me on business. I was just focused on business. Like, we said, oh, baby, come spend time with me. I ain't got time for that. Like, what you talking about? I got to do this. So I wasn't considering her leads. I stopped being romantic. I stopped doing all this crazy stuff. I stopped doing all the things that was really hard. And then when the nagging and the shit testing come, I just wanted to stop. But instead of me paying attention to that as being a sign of like, oh, there's some problems, some cracks here. It was just like, stop. Okay, you just do whatever so you can stop talking. I just wanted to make it stop. So keep that in mind, guys.
Okay. Well, look. This shit is like this. Everything is because of what it was, right? Why black people, where black people, where we at because of our history in this country. That's why we at where we at. And why do we stay where we at? We stay where we at because we're not familiar with our history and how we got here. Correct. We're familiar with the history that they gave us. Right. And because we're operating from that false, you know what I'm saying, beginning, is why we so fucked up now. Is why we so confused because we don't know where the story begins to know the truth of how we got here. If we knew that, all this stuff would be super easy to correct. It would be common sense. So when you're dealing with women, the first thing that you should have been doing when you were getting to know that chick is you should have been actually getting to know that chick. And that's the problem. A lot of guys, they know what a girl tells them. They know what a woman volunteers. Listen, damn what a woman volunteers you. That's not, see, when you're dealing with information exchange between men and women, it should be the opposite. Men should only tell women what they want women to know, right? Women, you need to find out what it is that she's not trying to tell you. Right? So for a man, the most important information is what he wants her to know because he's the one giving the direction. Okay? From the woman, the most important information is the information that she's not comfortable giving you or not thinking to volunteer. That's the most important information. Now, if you can figure that out, then you're going to know where the shit tests are coming from. A lot of these guys, they be like, yeah, the shit test and you got to pass the shit test with that nigga. That shit is horrible. It never works out in practicality. It never works out in practice. And the reason why is because in order to properly deal with a shit test, you have to know where that particular shit test is coming from. All right, I'm going to give you an example. My ex-wife had a hard time believing that I wasn't cheating on her. And if she couldn't prove it, then it was impossible for her to believe that I wouldn't cheat on her in the future. So she already had her mind made up that this guy at some point in time is going to cheat on me. Now, why? The reason why is because her father left her mother for a younger woman. And he married this chick immediately when she turned 18, which means he was fucking around with her prior to that. Right? So that means he was having an affair. He left, he took the family business, he took the house, everything. So he basically Kevin Featherlined them because the mom was the one that had the money. Her parents owned a restaurant. He was a chef. He went and worked for the restaurant, got all the experience, built the clientele, and then he left, started a restaurant of his own, and he took the house because she had more than him. So in the divorce, he got the damn house, right? So when she got of age, when she got to like 22 years old, 23, she was dating a dude that worked on like the cars. He souped up cars and shit like that were in the magazines and whatnot. And they met because she was a model and she used to model on the cars. She was also worked at Hooters, and she also won the Hooters bikini calendar like several times or whatever, right? So that's how they knew each other. Anyway, she was still modeling when they got engaged. He didn't like that. He wanted her to stop traveling, stop modeling, all that. So she goes on a trip, she goes on a photo shoot to model, and he didn't want her to go. So what did she do being a good girlfriend? She got the shoot done as quickly as possible and didn't even spend the night in the other city and was able to come back right away and surprise him. She caught him in the bed with some other chick, a plain Jane. So they broke off the engagement. That dude went on to marry that plain Jane. So it was her experiences, those two traumatic experiences, that convinced her that all men, well, no, it's not just those two things. It's the fact that her mother programmed that in her. Her mother kept telling her, you can't trust men. All men cheat. Men are going to cheat. Eventually they're going to cheat. If they're not cheating, one day they will cheat. Come on, bro. Anything that someone hears over and over and over and over and over and over again, it's programmed. That's why black women feel the way they feel about black men. Most black women haven't even been hurt yet by black men, but they're already convinced that it's going to happen. And the mother already convinced them that the reason the father's not in the picture is because he's the guy. He's the culprit.
Yep.
Right? She didn't tell on herself. She didn't admit to nothing that she did. It's all on the father that never was there to defend himself. Right? So I'm just trying to explain to you where these shit tests come from with women. Right? So that's why my ex couldn't fathom or believe that she could have this guy and he would never cheat on her, even though I left on some Biggie shit. I left all my motherfucking hoes for you. Like literally, I literally had dozens and dozens of chicks. I was working at the club. I had a stable, not a rotation. I had stable, and I left it all for her. Showed it to her. She saw it. So her mother would tell her, "You marry for money, divorce for love." In other words, find a rich dude, seduce his ass, marry him, then divorce him, take his money. Now you could go get you a Tyrone or a Chad or whatever because you already have the stability of your ex-husband. You already have the house of your ex-husband. You already have a limit, right? That's what ended up happening to me. When I divorced her, she took my fucking condo. And I was like, hold on. We were together for actual love, and you still took me for my savings or everything I had, right? Now, the point is that I knew where the shit test was coming from. I recognized it, and I made the right decision. Instead of trying to counteract that, I accepted that, listen, this is programmed in her. It's never going to go away. I could go 5 years without cheating on this bitch. She's still going to have the mentality of that any minute now. Any minute now it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Right. And what's going to happen is with that energy and that tone and suspicion in the marriage, she's going to actually push me to it because she's pushing me away from her emotionally and mentally. And what's going to happen, she's literally going to push me into the arms of another woman. So eventually
it's a self-fulfilling. Yeah.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. So that's why I got the hell out of there, because I understood the magnitude of the shit test. Some shit tests, it's not about passing it. It's about accepting that you're not compatible. But in general, most shit tests are easily overcome if you simply know the origin of that shit test. Because the way women operate is they operate based on base level needs and avoiding fear. The way women operate is their priority is to avoid pain, right? To avoid pain and to avoid not having resources, not having shelter, not having protection, which leads me to answering why these women feel the need to be strong and independent and go work for themselves. Why? Because they've never experienced the comfort of consistent safety. because they didn't have a father. They didn't grow up with a father. So at no point in their life did they ever feel safe. So what happens is they go to school, they get good grades, they get a good job, they do what they got to do to build stability, because what they're trying to do is create that safety for themselves, because they're living scared, they're living terrified, and they want to create that pseudo safety for themselves. It's like a child that didn't have any siblings, a little kid that has no brother or sister, and they don't have too many friends around. What do? They make up an imaginary friend.
Mm-hmm.
They make up something to take the place of a sibling or a friend. So women do the same shit. It's like, I never had a father, okay? And then you can't have a strong man that's going to keep you safe and be stable and all that when you're a kid and when you're a teenager. What dude is going to be 16, 17 providing stability and safety and resources? He's fucking 16, 17. He can barely hold down a job at Burger King. So what happens is they never had it, not through childhood, not through teens. And then as soon as they get to their 20s, they're just like, fuck that. I'm going to college. I'm going to get this degree. And then I'm going to get this job. And I'm going to get this career, because they're trying to create that stability and that safety for themselves. And just like Matt was saying, once they meet a dude who has all that, provides all that, he is masculine. He maintains his frame. He's stable. He has good money. He got good credit. He got a house and all this. They're like, oh, shit, I don't need to work. Fuck this. Fuck this imaginary friend. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this imaginary friend. I got a real man now. So you have to understand, that's how women operate. So when they're shit testing you, where is it coming from? A place of fear. They're like, is this guy the real thing? I got to keep on poking him and making sure, you real? Are you real? Are you real? Because I don't want to find out 2 years later that you gay or something. I need to know now. Are you strong?
A lot of niggas switch up. You got to understand, man. Just like we talk about female nature switching up after a certain amount of time being with you, guys switch up, man. Guys can't hold their frame for long, man. They switch up and they become these different.
If it's real, you can.
Yeah.
If it's real, you can. If it's genuine, you can. See how I knew Matt was a military man just by looking at him 13 seconds. I knew he was a military man. So what I'm saying is women can sense that too. That's why women will marry firemen, doctors, lawyers, military men. The reason why is because those professions, you don't get there without discipline, consistency. So it's like the shit test was already given. She don't got to shit test the motherfucker that's got a high rank in the military. What she got to shit test him for? He's obviously committed. He's obviously disciplined. He's obviously loyal. He's obviously consistent, right? Because he would have to be to have made it that far in that industry. So the shit test has already been given. But if you a Pookie or you a Ray or something like that, it should test all day long, because
they're playing not to lose.
Yep.
They got to play not to lose at that point. Yeah.
They say
and then when you find a real dude, they're playing to win.
Yep.
So you just got to be careful with the shit test. So the way to beat a shit test is constantly ask the right questions. Ask the right questions, right? As a society, we don't ask the right questions. You go into Planned Parenthood without asking who started Planned Parenthood, who funded Planned Parenthood, you're not asking the right question. You join fucking Black Lives Matters without asking who's funding Black Lives Matter, you're not asking the right questions. You buying a car without asking how many previous owners, how many accidents was it in, you are not asking the right questions. So when you get to start knowing a girl on the first motherfucking day, you should already know what the situation is with her and her fucking dad. You should the first goddamn day, right? So get good at asking personal questions without being intrusive, without making them uncomfortable. But you have to learn how to ask these right questions. You want to know if a woman was ever molested before or raped before? You have to learn how to ask that question. And the best way is to watch a movie or something, or bring up a current story or something that's on that topic, and you just let them talk for a little while. You be like, damn, has anything like that ever happened to you or any of your friends or family members or sisters or aunties or anything like that? That's how you get it. You don't just pop out of nowhere and be like, hey, you ever been molested before? You don't just, hey, whoa. You know what I'm saying? So you have to.
Jay, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you. What you got? What you got on the topic?
Well, first off, Ayande actually ran into a woman like that. And the thing is, I didn't find out till later on, through body, because I'm actually good at reading certain women. I can tell by their body language, what words they use, just their facial expression. And I did run into a woman very similar to that, and I can already tell she was dealing with some things. But this is more like right out of high school where I started dating her, and I realized there were some things, inconsistent things that she didn't want to talk about. And it wasn't until a certain question. Don't worry, I didn't like directly say it, but indirectly answered the question. Has anyone ever? Because it's like what the woman asked us. Has anybody ever hurt you? Like, ever been like emotionally scarred or something like that? And she just broke down. It wasn't no games when I was trying to ask the question. I asked it very seriously. I looked her in her face, and she like literally broke down in front of me. And then told me the whole gist of the story. I was more mad at the bastard that did it than when she was at her. That's what I was mad about. Because I told her if I ever found him, I would
That's what
never.
you're supposed to be mad at. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I told him if I ever found him, I would freaking end him.
Yeah, I've been
like off principle.
But that's not what she wants, though.
A lot of guys don't realize like the kind of shit that's why it's so important to understand the woman perspective too. Because if guys understood women, they wouldn't be so angry with them, right? Because I've been through divorce. Allende's been through a divorce. We're not fucking angry. Matter of fact, we're sitting here advocating that y'all should understand women. Y'all should learn how to, at least if you are not promoting relationships or anything like that, but at least you guys understand how to communicate. And when you need to get together, get together. That's the whole reason why we push this stuff, right? Men who are angry at women are men who haven't grown out of that. They haven't grown out of that stage. You're still in that stage. And you have to understand the kind of experiences that these women go through before they run into your ass. The kind of shady ass, shiesty ass, dope ass, I would say dope dealing ass motherfuckers that they deal with out here, right? Before they run into your ass, the kind of cheating, the nonsense they've been through before they get to you. So obviously understanding that their priority number one is to not be hurt, to avoid it. Actually, they're less likely to go through pain than most men are. That's the thing. That's why they don't approach. Most women don't approach men. Most women don't take the initiative for certain things because they don't want to feel the feeling of failure because they can't handle it. Men, we can a little bit, so we push through, we grind on. It is what it is. At least most of us, anyway. But you got to understand when she's dealing with you, she has past trauma from sick dudes who either she didn't grow up in the right family environment or whatnot, and she's dealing with you. So just like Kevin Samuel says, right? Because he said that in his last show, the men have trauma coming into this because they're dealing with their parents and whatnot. Usually being raised by single moms, and I dealt with it, right? Being raised by a single mom, you get mad. You get mad not at your moms or anything like that, but you get mad because there are all these feelings as a young man growing. And you don't know how to channel these different feelings you're feeling, but you're looking at your mom. She's completely different than you, but you can tell she doesn't understand what you're going through, but she's trying to tell you what's up. So you find it hard to listen because you're like, you don't get it. You need someone who's already been there, who looks like you to tell you what's up so I can sit down, shut the fuck up and learn. But a lot of men don't know that. So we'll come into a situation where we're both broken. Like he said in his last show, we're broken. And majority of the people you're going to run into, they're going to be broken. They're going to be damaged. But it's understanding how to speak that language now and come together. That's what matters. Not saying, look at her. She got all these damage. Avoid her. Avoid her. Okay, and yeah, run into a different one with the same problem. Is that what you want to do? Because all these motherfuckers got problem, including you. And guess what? You're dealing with the same kind of broads. You got problem too.
But
exactly.
They're gonna that's gonna be the consistent, right? They're gonna be the consistent. That the norm, the majority is gonna be what it's gonna be. So the way to deal with the majority is not to fret, it's not to complain, it's not to blame the majority. The way to deal with the majority is to learn how to be the minority. So you see how Jay was saying that the chick opened up and told him what happened? Okay. I guarantee you she doesn't tell every guy what happened. So what happens is when you get her to open up and you learn how to study it and do the research and get your Batman detective on, now you become the minority. And because you're the minority, you not only have an advantage, right? But now you have a strategy on how to deal with what's the majority. Because girls that are traumatized or whatever, girls that didn't have fathers, girls that have all these type of issues, guess what? They're the majority. So you can't change that as an individual. You can't snap your fingers. You're not Thanos. You can't make all the damaged girls disappear. But what you can do is basically go down the path that Jay went down, which is be the minority that knows how to deal with it. So now she looks at you as an anomaly. She doesn't look at you as all these other niggas out here. All these niggas are the same. Not Jay. Something's different
He's
about
different.
Jay, or she would have never told Jay what she told Jay.
Facts.
When a woman trusts you with her secrets, you are officially the anomaly because she don't tell everybody her fucking secrets. So that's just a little jewel I just gave y'all motherfuckers. Focus on that. If you can learn how to get secrets out of a woman, then you're learning how to be in the top 10% for her. That's how you become a high value man in her mind. Because what makes you valuable is that you're different and unique than all these other motherfuckers. Right? Now, it's just a matter of what you're gonna do with that trust. You gonna fuck it up, right? Or you're gonna lead and counsel and help and help this bitch through what she's doing. Now, I'm not telling you go out here and simp for bitches and be that psychologist. What I'm trying to say is if you want the bitch, there's ways to get them. And also, and another thing, there's two more things I want to touch on that Duke said. When you growing up as a little boy and you raised by a single mom, one of the toughest things, but the most simplest things, is that moms don't understand the difference between little boys and little girls. Fathers instinctively understand that. And if you don't think that, how come fathers already know that daughters are daddy's little girl? You see what I'm saying? Like fathers already know that. And boys is my little mini me. That's my junior. So men already know my son is my junior, my daughter is daddy's little girl. Now, the simplest way for me to describe that, disciplinary wise, is that little girls or girls in general need to be good. That's what you want. You want your little girl to be good. Now, you want your boy to do good.
Facts.
Now think about that. It sounds very simple. It's simple, but yet it's very complex. So for a girl to be good means she has to not taint herself. She needs to maintain her purity, right? She needs to not be corrupted. You see what I'm saying? She needs to be good. Now, for a boy, what does he need to do? He needs to challenge his energy into doing good. Build that clubhouse. Build that bike. Build that Legos. Go help your dad at work. Go rake those leaves. Get your little summer job. You gotta do good, do good, do good. So as a boy, you want to push that energy outward. You want to affect the world around you and do good. Do good. Do good. Make this better. Make that better. Right?
Yep.
Go out there on the football field. Do good. Right? Impress the coach. Boom. Win the championship. You see what I'm saying? Do good. You see the difference? So it's not as important for a man to be good. Think about it. A man cannot necessarily, he can be flawed as a person in certain ways, and people will accept and tolerate that as long as what he's putting out is good, though. What he's putting out is good, people gonna love him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he's making things better. He's making he's making things around him better. But a female, we're cool with her just being good. She ain't gotta help nobody else. She ain't gotta build nothing. She don't gotta improve nothing. Just
be a good girl.
Yeah, just be good. And that's gonna be attractive, right? To a potential husband. Because as long as she just stay good, stay pure, right? Stay untainted, now I can marry you and I can have my children with you. And if a man is just constantly doing good, building credit, saving money, bought a house, you know what I'm saying? Got another business, doing good. Now he's a prime candidate for a husband and a father. Right. So it's that simple is what I'm trying to say. When you understand that difference between boy and girl. And that's another thing I was going to tell you, Duke. I just can't remember right this second, but I'm going to remember though.
I bet. Who Matt?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I have a son. I have two daughters. My biggest concern was about my son. What are you gonna be? And for my daughters is who are you gonna be with?
That's
And I
facts.
don't mean that.
And-
I don't
and-
mean
and-
that in any cold way. That's just.
No,
what it
that's
is.
true. Because I got a daughter too, and it's the exact same thing. And man, it's crazy because like when you have kids, it's a different story. Because you're looking into this world, you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna do the best I can as a father. I'm gonna do the best I can as a mother. But ultimately, they're gonna have to go into society and deal with the nonsense that's going on. So I need to make sure I'm best prepared to be able to help them understand this world. However, you gotta understand that as a parent nowadays, you're not only fighting. You're only fighting for the well-being. You're fighting the world for your goddamn kid at this point because the world wants your kids. That's what you guys got to understand. The society wants to corrupt your kids and make more of these demons out here that are coming out because that is the low kind of fucking mentality thinking that keeps this whatever shit this is, it keeps us going. You look at the Cardi B's, you got the Megan Thee Stallions, all these other whack rappers out here, and you know all these guys who are preaching these violent shit and this wild shit, and getting these young men to go out and act crazy, right? And then I mean, look at this. I don't know about you, but is it me or is it the because I know Allende, you can speak for this in terms of the older hip hop music, but it seems like now some of these youngsters they're willingly getting themselves in serious trouble. Like these young rappers coming out, like some of them who are going to like either on the run filming fucking music videos and shit from running from cops and doing all this crazy shit, all this clout. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And these guys are applauding these motherfuckers. It's like, yo, he is wanted right now for a goddamn double homicide, and he's on a run right now making music, and y'all cheering him on. Fucking
Hey,
A.
man.
What is this? What is
Daddy
it? You got
never
another
made
woman.
special.
You see what I'm saying? You got another nigga, exactly. You got someone like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion making a song like WAP. And all of a sudden, it's like they're basically talking about like, oh, this we're talking about coochie and selling coochie and doing all this stuff, right? We teach you guys to be opposite of wife and all this stuff. Women cheer it on, and I'm sitting there like, yo, this is the world. And for those of you guys who are listening right now that are fucking parents, this is what's waiting for your daughters. This is what's waiting for your sons: prison and prostitution.
And Duke, to actually touch up on that.
We could flip that shit
Yeah.
though for your own.
It's crazy.
For the people
Yeah.
in your life, bro. The people in your life, you can flip it because these people got where they got by voids, right? So these dudes and these women, they never had daddy to make them feel special. And when you haven't had daddy to make you feel special, make you feel like an individual because you're super, super important and valuable and special to your dad because you're his kid, right? Now, because you didn't have nobody to make you feel special, what happens is you grow up with nobody to make ashamed. Think about it. When these motherfuckers is acting up, who is the person that they're making feel disappointed and ashamed? Nobody. So it's like you out here acting up because it's like, who's gonna call you? Be like, boy, I can't believe you out here doing this. You embarrassing me, boy. I'm ashamed of you. There ain't nobody to get that phone call, right? Because there was nobody that was saying you're special. You can be anything. I love you. You mean everything to me.
Yep.
You're the most important thing in the world to me. There was nobody saying that when they were coming up. So now there's nobody to say I'm ashamed of you when they're falling down on the way down. So that's like what's missing. So you just gotta make sure that you got that in play for your children.
Yeah.
Like, the world is scary. I get it. That's why I ain't bother having kids because I don't like the lack of control that you have over your household. But for the people that do have kids, all you really gotta do is keep in mind, if I know certain shit and I'm aware of certain things, I just gotta give this advantage to my kids. I just gotta make sure that they know the difference.
Yep.
Whatever's missing in these other motherfuckers, I gotta make sure my kids got it, so that my kids gonna be looking at them like they crazy. They're gonna be like, I don't know why these motherfuckers out here acting up.
My daughter already does that.
Yeah, I don't know why they acting up.
She already did that. She's like, I remember we were walking back, and man, it was this hood chick when we were at the grocery store, man, and she was on the phone like loud, talking crazy. My daughter was like, she was pointing, she's like, Dad, why is she talking like that? Who is she talking? Like, she's so mad. Like, what's going on? I'm like, hey, stop pointing. Put your finger down. No, we don't want that attention over here. But yes, she's got some problems going on right now. But she's not wrong. She's honest.
Yeah.
She called her. She called her crazy. This person crazy. I'm like, hey, stop pointing. We don't want that attention. But yes, Yes, like it's one of those things where kids know, right? You train them right, you raise them right. They understand what's rational and what's fucking nuts. So as long as you keep that training up, it's gonna be, you're gonna be. I would say not. You be all right. You're gonna be sitting in a good spot. But yes, if you're aware of what it is that the kid should be paying attention to and not paying attention to, and you're on top of it, you should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the vast majority of parents would much rather be best friends with their kids than actually be that person who's sitting there telling them what the fuck is up. To be that parent to say, actually be a parent and say, hey,
they're not around.
stop.
You're not my friend. You're my kid. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
That's the truth.
Exactly, Matt.
They're not
Exactly.
around most of the time, bro. That's the problem.
Yeah.
When you ask girls, like young women, 25, 26, 27, you ask them how it was when they were growing up, majority of the time, they paint a very similar picture. Majority, not all the time, but 66% of the time, they say the father wasn't there and the mom was always at work. And it's like, well, who the fuck was there? MTV? You know what I'm saying? Like BET, like that's who was there. You know what I mean? The internet, that's who's there. Facebook, that's who was there. So, I mean, are we surprised, that we got the issues we got? I mean, look how these girls are taking to TikTok, bro. If you look, they take to every platform with more intensity than the one prior. Facebook was a crave, then Instagram, it kind of turned up a little, then Snapchat, it turned up even more, and now TikTok is all the way turned. Like TikTok, I feel like it's on the max. I'm like, can he be more turned up than TikTok? I don't know.
No. TikTok, here's the thing. TikTok is I'm gonna say this, and I know Matt, you got something to say, but TikTok is the ultimate social media platform. You guys don't understand this, right? TikTok only serves you shit like via it's algorithm, completely 100% algorithm based, bro. Like not like all these other platforms like YouTube and all that. It's so fucking fine tuned. It's not even funny. It only shows you things that you are like literally good. It's like what you're more likely to see, and then you're gonna get hooked on you. So much so to the point that even if you see like they ban or suppress platforms that don't have a certain look or aesthetic to it, right? Even so much to the point of looking instead. There was an article that was out a while ago. They were talking about like disabled kids who got on TikTok and they were noticing their videos weren't getting views because they were actually actively being suppressed. Like they don't play. They want it to be as perfect looking as possible so that the videos or the people they serve it to is presented on this weird silver platter. But it's the perfect social media platform. It combines a short attention span and all this crazy stuff all into one. Go ahead, Matt.
But Jay, I just want to say a big shout out to you for the story you were telling, because it takes a lot of empathy and skill to get to that point in the conversation with somebody to get them to tell you that deep, dark truth. But I do want to give a little bit of a cautionary thing is when somebody tells you something like that, yes, you can be part of the solution. You can be part of the fix, but it's not your job alone to fix them. They have to want to fix themselves. So don't be the trap of being the only thing that will save them, because the person, some people, you got to participate in your own rescue, right? So that's awesome. Mad props for getting there, but also that person's got to want to come on the journey too. So
that's that's the next step for him, though. That's the next step.
Yeah, and
first
and that's the thing I always got with her when I talk to her.
Then you start figuring out what is therapeutic and what's helpful, because you see, the first place you went is where men are gonna go. The first place you went is to anger and the desire for physical violence. Trust me, every time I hear those type of stories and confessions and whatnot, those testimonies, I'm there. The difference is I know how to compartmentalize it now. But back when I was younger and I first started having those conversations, I was like, yo, what this motherfucker's address, yo? Nah, hold up, where this motherfucker at, yo? We gonna get him in. And the women never wanted to participate. And I gradually started to realize that this is not what they want, and this is not what's gonna help. It doesn't help them. They're different than us. For us, beating a motherfucker to a bloody pulp, there's gratification and satisfaction. But you have to understand, we're wired that way because violence is part of nature. So being able to protect oneself and one's loved ones with violence is hereditary for men. It's necessary, because if not, then people will constantly be taking our shit. They will be taking our resources, taking our property, taking our land, taking our women, kidnapping our children. That's what would happen if we didn't have a proclivity for violence. So that's in us, and it makes sense to us. But just know, to the women, it's almost never a desire they have. right? Like that's why it won't make sense to you at first because you'll be like, how the fuck do you even go to Christmas dinner around your stepfather that used to molest you? And
You're not gonna get it.
right, that's not what they want. So you gotta kind of learn how to do just what Matt was saying, and then figure out how to get them involved, get them to be involved and active in their own rehabilitation, in their own therapy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's there, and you'll also get better at gauging who's savable and who isn't. Because some girls are just too far gone. I'm sorry, bro. Nobody can help.
Yep.
It's that bad sometimes, bro. But there are a lot of them that it might only be in one or two things, and with the right man, the right leadership, and the right the right guidance and support, bro, you can really have something. So, that's just a message to the fellas, bro, is that stop thinking that women are automatically a no-go because they might be one or two red flags. Learn how to understand the origin of those flags. And if it's within you, you know what I'm saying? Because think about it. As men, one of the things that we're supposed to be good at is changing the world around us, right? We're supposed to be good at changing things. If it's cold, we build heaters, right? If it's too hot, we build AC. So we're supposed to be good at changing the terrain and making it work for us. So don't necessarily say, okay, this chick, I went on a date with this chick and it's like, it ain't gonna work because she's this. Yeah, well, most girls are that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you gonna do? You're just gonna stay home and jerk off? You know what I mean? You're just gonna stay home and watch Pornhub?
Yep.
Or you gonna figure out how to interact with these chicks and get what you want out of them and get them to behave the way you want them to behave? Because that's what game is. Game is getting these chicks to do what you want them to do.
As a man, your job and a leader is to remove barriers. You need to remove barriers and obstacles for people that are within your circle. That's what in my opinion, what a leader does. You remove the barriers.
And you alleviate worry is what you do. So that you can assure her that you've got everything. There's no need for that worry. I'm on top of it. No one's getting to you without getting through me. That's why you have to assure that.
And it's a protection thing. That's what I'm sorry, man. It's just it's the six-figure bullshit that's why I think it's so crazy. It's because like literally they just want to know that hey, if you got shit covered and I don't have to worry about nothing, it doesn't matter if you're making fucking $75,000 or $2 million a year. I feel protected. I feel great when I'm around you. I feel like you got shit covered, right? And you're stable. But if you're sitting there like all of a sudden, I don't know, well, this might happen or that might happen or shit, now we ain't got no money. Well, guess what? The main thing that women care about, which is security, that's gone. So, of course, they're going to be out here like, oh, well, what this guy can't handle it. Like, I got to go figure something out. That's what it is. So it's not about the money that all these guys like to focus on. Nah, that's watered down and oversimplified because guys out here with money get taken for everything. Everything.
Well,
you gotta understand that. There's more to it. There's a lot more to it.
I'm gonna put something on both what Matt and Duke said. Because here's the thing about fucking money, right? Like I was saying earlier, it ain't about how much money you got. It's about how you spend and use the money you do got. So this is what happens when it's just money. When it's just money, right? And majority of these chicks out here is flawed. Majority of these chicks got some kind of baggage, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical. Well, if it's physical, then it's also mental and emotional. So they either got one of the three types of baggage or they got all three. And then the next thing is, right, they have these issues, they have this trauma. So if Shorty is fine as hell, she beautiful, she look good and all and everything like that, the waist small, everything is on fleek, and then she gets with the guy that has just the money, what happens now is that money becomes an enabler. It brings out the worst in her, and it also becomes the greatest barrier between her acknowledging her issues and her flaws and her doing anything about it. Because it's like, I don't gotta do nothing about it. I got a dude and he got money, everything's paid for, everything's here. So now she's bored with the dude, right? And now she is like basically swimming in her own sin. She's swimming in her issues because she don't see a need to fix them. So the money now becomes an enabler, right? So what's actually, I don't want to say better than money because you still got to have money, you still got to be stable. But what is key is what Matt's talking about, and that's being able to remove boundaries. Because when you got all the money in the world to take care of a chick, that's even more the reason to be removing the fucking boundaries that's holding her back from being the best version of herself to serve you, because she's your help. As a woman, for her being in her nature is being a helpmate to her man, because that's what God designed her to be, was to be a helpmate. So those barriers,
and she'll be happy too. Good.
Right. Those barriers are preventing her from being the best possible helpmate. And when you talk to women about their problems, their response is always going to be a shitload of barriers, right? We simply just call them excuses. But they're going to say, I can't because of this. Oh, I didn't because of that. It won't work because of that. Because, my girl does it all the time. And I just sit there and rebuttal. And I tell her why all of those shits are stupid and a waste of fucking time. We don't focus on the how. We focus on the what. You say focus on what it is that you want to accomplish, you will figure out how. The way will present itself. The universe will always present the way if you focus on the what, right? On what you're trying to accomplish. But the problem is that women, for whatever reason, are reluctant to do that on their own. They don't have a guy literally holding them accountable on a daily basis, every day. Baby, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do? One step at a time. And what happens is, as they start to overcome these boundaries that they thought they never could, they start realizing that, okay, these things are really just in my head, right? But their whole life, they've used those as excuses and scapegoats. That's why women are experts at pointing the finger. They're experts at saying why it's somebody else's motherfucking fault. Why it's society's fault. It's this bitch. It's because this bitch did this, and it's because he did that. It's like, no. It's because of you. You're not big boned. It's not the food. It's the fault of the food. No, it's your lack of discipline, right, and your inability to break down the boundaries that he was talking about. So that's a skill that men need to, learn to perfect. The problem with that is you can't say this shit without doing it in your own motherfucking life. You can't tell a bitch,
and she has to see you.
Right. You can't tell a chick to be disciplined about her eating, and you're not disciplined. You can't tell a chick to be up at 5 a.m., 6 in the morning grinding if you're not up.
You're not up at 5 a.m.
Right? You can't do that. You got to do that yourself. You got to do it yourself first. You got to lead by example. And another thing is, all these guys out here complaining that a woman isn't following you. Listen, if you ain't leading other men, she's not convinced.
Right.
She's not convinced. She's not convinced that she has to follow you just because you have a penis, right? So the way that you show that you're a worthy leader is by leading other men. So just like he was saying, man, help other people in your life break down boundaries, lead them, whether they're your friends, your neighbors, your family members, or whatever, nephews, what have you. They watching, right? So if you can't even lead your nephew, why would your woman follow you, bro? Come on.
And I want to say this, and I will get you. Actually, no, this is great because we got a panel full of gentlemen here, and this would be a great conversation to have. But one thing that I've always had the disagreement with the definition when we talk about high valued men, right? Because it seems like majority of the time, right, it's been bastardized to basically just mean money and not a lot of the other things. Here's what, it's not. I learned this later on when I started making some serious money and then actually dealing in a lot of businesses in the business world. One thing I learned about high value men, what really makes someone high value is what you do in terms of giving back, right? A lot of these guys who are quote unquote, they talk about the money, but they don't talk about the philanthropic stuff that they get into. They don't talk about how, in terms of building their own community, building their own like little clan, their own group. They don't talk about that, right? Being high value, you want to talk about all this money, you can go chase the money or whatever the fuck, right? But it's what you do, how you give back. How do you give back to people? Because when I was talking to people, man, when you don't talk about motivation and all that stuff like that, real talk, money doesn't lead you to happiness, right? Money doesn't do any of that shit. It doesn't help you in any of that. What really helps and gives your life fulfillment is how you give back to other people, how you help. That's why when you talk to people who've already made it, right? You talk to people who are like, oh shit, I'm already here, I've been here, big dog. What is the main thing they talk about that they're proud of is how they help their community, how they go back to their hood and help their hood and help them come up, how they help their partners, because that's really what makes fulfillment, right? The money was just simply a tool. You realize it wasn't the actual destination in the first place. But if you could have a lot of money, you'd be a rich asshole, but you could be at the top, lonely as fuck, and no one really gives a shit about you. Those motherfuckers are miserable. Trust me. But it's the people who understand the value of giving back. That's the most important thing. I don't give a fuck what I do in this world, but as long as I give something back to people, so that when they say, okay, who the fuck is this guy? What has he done? They could look back and say, okay, this is how he helped so and so. That's what the ultimate goal of life is. It's to help your fellow human being, right? We talk about all this craziness, right? All this monetary. How do you help other people? And is it done in the right way? That's what a lot of us don't understand. That's what makes you high value. Because the real talk is the people that you surround yourself with is that sum you up. If you're around assholes, you're a fucking asshole. Go ahead, Matt.
You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You are the average of that. And the number one deathbed, what would you have done different? I would have spent more time with my friends and family. And what do you do with your friends and family? You're giving back.
Yep. Yeah, it's not sitting there, man. I wish I would have made an extra $6,000 that month. Nah, that's not. In the end, you don't remember that shit.
It really what I think it is relationships. I mean, you just reminded me what it was that I forgot to bring up, because you were saying something about relationship, like with females. I think we need to define relationship, because when people say relationships, they be talking about like, they be talking about like committed relationship. They be talking about like boyfriend, girlfriend, like husband, wife, like living together. And it's like, that's not what a relationship means. Relationship just means how you relate to another human being, another individual. Your neighbor, if you interact with your neighbor, then you have a relationship with him. Now, what is the nature of that relationship? But you have a relationship. So, like, for example, when it comes to women, you can have a relationship with a chick and there's zero commitment, nothing going on there like that. But you can have a friendship. At one point in time, you might have been hooking up with her, you might have been sleeping with her, but that might not be where you are now. She might be seeing somebody else, whatever the case may be, but you still have a relationship, right? Because you're handling things well, you're interacting with that person well, you're relating to that person well. You're keeping the communication where it needed to be, so the understanding is there. So even if you're not together like that, there's still no hard feelings. You still like each other, you still respect each other, and maybe you're not talking. You're not talking anymore because you shouldn't be talking, because she's with somebody else. So you respect that she has a man now, right? But if she was ever to break up with that guy, she could be talking to you an hour later, and it not be about hooking up or nothing like that. It's just that y'all still have a relationship, is what I'm trying to say. If she knows, oh, you know who would know? Let me call Allende because I know he would know about this. Let me ask his opinion on that. And because I'm gonna receive her as, hey, how are you? How's everything? No, how's your daughter? Yeah, she's good. She's big. And the boyfriend, oh, we're not together anymore. Oh, get the fuck out of here. You see what I'm saying? The point is, you make sure to maintain relationships. And I think that's what Duke is trying to say with the give back. Because it's not really necessarily the incentive that you're trying to give back. It's just that you're trying to keep healthy relationships. You're trying to maintain healthy relationships. So if you're successful, maybe you didn't come from a good neighborhood or whatever, but you're struggling to do what? Still maintain good relationships. Now, if you're doing successful, you're doing good, and you go back and you visit your auntie or something like that, and then you're like around the neighborhood kids, and they got bigger, you're like, oh man, little niggas is grown, and yeah, man, I see you in the Range Rover, you're doing this. Your instinct is gonna be like, okay, how can I help these damn people? Because I'm trying to maintain this relationship. And I'm in a position where I can do something for them. You see what I'm saying? But it's based on what? It's based on the relationship that we have. You see what I mean? So in life, that's the most important things. And that also leads into the high valued man thing, because it's like, okay, you could be doing really good, have a lot of money, but you're shit for relationships. So when you die, nobody misses you. No, and I don't mean sentimentally. I mean like nobody's going broke because you're not around anymore, because you weren't making other men rich. You weren't making other guys successful. You weren't, do you understand what I'm saying? You didn't have a network that depended on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus, you're sick? Shit, we'll send you some chicken noodle soup. Like, we need you. We need you. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people are relying on you, because you're high value. So and that's part of the elements that Kevin Samuels puts in the definition. People just keep grazing over it. So
They focus on the money piece.
The money
right,
aspect
exactly. So
is good. Yeah.
right. Yeah. So people
Everything
gotta
else gets
see
glossed
how
over.
you have your virtues, you have your morals, and you're successful, and then also other people are depending on you. Shit would fucking stop if you're not around. So all of it, it's a lot involved in that, and that's why so few men actually fit that description, which is fine. You get what I'm saying? But the point is that it takes a lot more than just saying, well, I'm making, even the fact that he says you need to be making over 100 grand consistently for that period of time. It's like, you can just have a really good year. What does that mean? And then the next year you could be bankrupt. So being high value is showing a level of consistency. You get what I'm saying? So that too. And I also think part of being a high value man is towards your end, you create a legacy also.
Boom.
I think that's
who's gonna remember you after you're gone.
That's what I'm saying. Who's gonna remember you?
I was exactly gonna say that. Like your legacy, trust me. One of the biggest things I've found out, at least from when I was 23 to where age I am now, is that how do you want people to remember you? How are you gonna do it? How are you gonna help other people once you've ascended to this plateau? Are you gonna be despised? Or are you going to be loved and remembered that, this man actually helped these kids around this whole neighborhood, and let's say Flanders, New Jersey. He actually did something. He was building a community for where young kids could do something after school and actually do something productive. I mean, let's be real. LeBron James actually did something for his freaking hometown, even though as bad as it is, he did something for it. So people are going to remember him from building that school and that little after boys and girls club program he made. People are going to remember Dwayne Wade for making a basketball camp for young boys and young girls. They're going to remember him for that.
No, you're right. All these guys, they're doing things that give him back.
Those
Even
guys
because Will Smith had his thing where he started doing motivational videos when he's like, "Yo, I'm this age now. You think about life. People think it's about this hustle and running, but nah, I'm over here. I'm at the stage where everything's slowed down. That's typically what they say. Everything's slowing down, and you're looking around and you're saying, "Oh shit, well." What else? Where else can I add value? That's why you see some of these billionaires, these really rich dudes. They start these massive philanthropic campaigns, right? They start these things because when you get to the top, you realize, dude, what is all this shit for? Like, why? I fought my way to the top of the fucking mountain. I still feel fucking empty. The reason why is because you're missing people, but just not people, valuable people that mean something to you, that you actually took pride in actually helping and elevating yourself. That's why, when you were talking about the whole Myron Gaines, when you won for the team and how he couldn't understand that, he can possibly understand that, right? This is the man who thinks he's at the top of his own fucking pyramid. A person who thinks like a leader, who understands the value of making sure that the team works and the team does what they need to do, and we all get elevated together. Meaning we all eat at the table. That's someone who gets it, who says, all right, you know what? This is for everybody. When I rise, we all rise. That's it. That's how this shit's supposed to work. There's no, I got to fight him or I got to go fight this or got to go this. No. I rise, you rise. I eat, you eat. I ain't got nothing against you. You help me, I help you. We don't say shit like you don't need them, and then you do the exact opposite, bro.
Well, the dude that's got the dude that has to stand on the table and pound his chest and tell everybody he's a leader. He's not a fucking leader. Like your team will tell you you're the leader. Your team will follow you. They'll tell you you're the leader.
If you sitting there having to yell, you gotta listen to me because I'm a belly man. No, you've lost all the power. The fact that you have here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Power is taken, okay? It's not something you demand for. It's something you take, okay? If you're sitting there asking for power, you're never gonna get it. That's why I'm gonna give you a little bit, but I want to make this point. When a lot of African American folks, when we're sitting there, it seems like we're asking some of these other cultures to, give us the respect we need and whatnot. Let me tell you something. If you don't learn how to take the respect for yourself, like all these other groups, the Jews and all these other groups, that they won't let y'all talk shit about their group any sort of way. If y'all don't know how to do that, guess what? You ain't gonna have that power, and you're always going to be forever waiting on a white man to do something because you guys have already set that premise. So let me tell you something. If you really want to take control, it's taken, not fucking given. All right, that's just how this shit works.
Yeah,
And
like over here,
yeah, man,
begging,
that's actually a
begging
good
for the
point.
shit.
No, people don't get it.
For the shit.
They don't get it. They don't understand the dynamics of power. Like there's power dynamics in every single thing that you do. You just understand that in order to be a fucking man, you want to be the charge. You have to understand how to take that power. It is what it is. No, if you're gonna, if someone comes to me, when have you ever seen someone rarely give up power once they have it? When have you seen someone willingly say, "Okay, here, I got some of the power here"? No, you take it. You take it, especially if it's from a narcissist. You take it. That's how it is.
That's
You
it.
know
What
what's so
happened was,
you know what's so funny about that? It's like Tarzan to me when you say that. Sorry to cut you off, Ayande, but it's like Tarzan to me. You know how Tarzan in the movie commands the apes and stuff? That man has power.
Yeah.
He has respect. He leads them. Like
Facts.
no one's taking the power from him. Someone could, but but like he's earned the respect and he's built his strength up. Like, listen, I lead, you guys follow me. Because if you follow me, we're gonna live and survive.
This is
so
where we're
when you
going.
said that, I literally thought Tarzan. I'm like, that's literally it in a nutshell. Like he's a leader. He commands the respect.
And it's done. You're absolutely right, and it's done by demonstration, right? Because when leaders lead, people follow. Meaning, what are they following? They're following what the leader fucking does. It's not the person sitting back in the chair. Okay, you go ahead and try that. Okay, no, you go ahead and try that. And then, no, what fucking kind of leader that does that? You know, no.
That's not a
You are in
leader.
the front.
That's a manager, not a leader.
And we got too many damn managers running around here. Y'all talking too much shit and not doing enough. That's what the fuck's happening right now. Now we're gonna give it. We're gonna open it up. Last 5 minutes, y'all can just go ahead and go wild out, whatever it is. I'm gonna make sure this chat ain't got no trolls in it because I have not been paying attention.
I had my fly swatter out for the trolls earlier, but I don't know if
because here's what they usually do, right? They come in towards the end of it, or they come in right afterwards, and you see them in the comment section. Oh, or they come in really early, right? I can't believe you still on the Fresh and Fit thing. It's like, yo, guys, I don't know if you've watched any of our episodes before, but listen, we're not stopping. Like anybody just like Fresh and Fit and anyone else who have these terrible fucking ideas, oh, you best believe they're gonna be talked about. And you guys equate fucking constructive criticism to fucking hating. Oh my god, you guys are lost cause. That's what it is. And not the guys who are interacting and engaging with us. I'm talking about the guys who just come in, they see Fresh and Fit and like, oh, that's all you guys talking about. It's like you're a lost cause because we're criticizing them. No one hates them. We just criticize the bad ideas that are infecting your minds. And you guys see it all the time. Like the guys who even come up here and say, hey, I used to listen to this shit and it actually doesn't make any sense. We get messages from people who used to listen to Fresh and Fit talking about, yeah, I realize that now it's toxic. All they needed was that other reference point. That's all they need is a reference point to basically say, okay, wait a minute. This is because the red pill message is all similar. I hope y'all need to understand this. A lot of the message in the red pill space, it's all similar. Don't let it. Don't. It doesn't matter about the other perspective. Men are this, women are this. They're doing this. You don't hear it from the horse's mouth. And the platforms that do have women on, they're either they're pushed to a certain situation where, like they have to be in a situation where they have to wild out, right? And we're not in this position where we're having a straightforward, honest conversation where we're actually enabling women to open up, to be comfortable enough to open up. Like you were elaborating your last scenario where the lady was comfortable enough to tell you what was going on online. We see that in the podcast with the women we have here. Because they're comfortable enough to say, okay, this is a safe platform. Let me air out what I have going on so these guys can actually help me. Because in my life, I really don't have that fucking direction. And the women I'm surrounded by, they're no help to me either. I need someone who's going to be impartial, but I can't find the right place that's going to be able to help me out. And that's what we're trying to do here. Go ahead. I'm going to leave it up to y'all.
The issue is, the reason why that's so dangerous is because that shit has never worked out well before. And what I'm talking about is any environment or any group of people that have their narrative decided and displayed for them. Right? So like when people jump in my comments and they say real like stupid shit, they try to like use shaming language and they ain't even fucking skilled with it. It just sounds like just some real dumb shit. Like you clench your straws when they be like, oh yeah, you foul because you over here talking shit about another black man. You try to bring down another black man. It's like, all right, first of all, shut that shit up. Because the reason why black people are where they are in this country is because black people, the black man especially, allows other people to control his image. He allows other people to create the narrative for him. Black people, for how many decades in this country, have allowed the media, you get what I'm saying, the news, the record industry, whoever besides themselves, to decide what their identity is and to decide what their narrative is and tell them what their history was, tell them what their present is, and also tell them what their future is going to be. So when you see Marvel movies squeezing in gay characters, and you have fans that have been conditioned and trained to actually complain about not having gay characters, hold on. The last time I checked, the gay community has access to plenty of money and plenty of talent. So why isn't there a gay Hollywood? People are like, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous what you're saying. No, it's not ridiculous what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's not white people's responsibility or white supremacy or Hollywood or whoever's responsibility to make black movies or to make movies with black characters. If you feel that way, then get some black directors together with some black producers, with some black actors, with some black film crews, and go make some fucking black movies. And don't say, oh no, what it is that they won't let us in the industry. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is go create your own industry. Go do shit independent and whatever, and then you can depict yourself however you want to depict yourself, right? If you want to be a black lawyer, be a black lawyer. If you want to be a black superhero, be a black superhero. The point is, at that point, it alleviates all the complaining and all the whining because you're in charge of that. You're doing it yourself. And then it's on the people to support that. There's enough black people to support a whole nother industry of movie making, right? Just like there's enough gay people to support a whole industry that just makes homosexual movies.
And here's just to add to your point, Yende, this is why I know that most of these people that be talking about this black shit, they're all bullshit. Because hey, Tyler Perry had his own black-owned studios, and BET was a thing. And guess what? Y'all still supported the raunchy, fucking terrible shit because y'all can't admit to yourself that you hate the fucking rot that's going on because y'all so screwed up too. We all need fucking therapy, bro. This isn't us.
That ain't black owned.
We are.
That's not black owned though.
No, it's not. No. It wasn't black. It wasn't. It's not black owned now, but it was at some point. And we let the emails get.
I understand what you're saying. Back in the day when BET actually was a black network, they had all that intelligent, intellectual, educational shit. Nobody supported it, but that's just because they were already trained and conditioned and told what to like and told how to be. Right? We were told we were told to be things. Right? We were told to be dope dealers, and our women were told to be hoes and to be out here twerking and all that shit. They were told. So the reason why white girls are twerking out here now is the same reason why black women were twerking 20 years ago. It's just because the media conditioned them too. So what I'm trying to say is that YouTube is a space where we actually can control the narrative. So the last thing that I want to see is some fucking dummies like fucking FreshandFit, some scam artists, do the exact same thing that mainstream is doing, which is control the narrative, manipulate the viewer, right? To a lower vibration that's easier to trick and control and profit off of. That's why I'm criticizing that channel. So when you come in at me with that, black man trying to attack another black man, bro, you just thinking small.
Two black men talking about other men. You guys are weird.
And that talking point is so damn feminine because what you're doing is resorting to the level of thinking that most women.
It's same in language for men. Oh my God, I said it. I fucking said it. Y'all motherfuckers no different from the bitches you hate because you are them. You guys are using the exact same shaming tactics. Like we don't fucking recognize it. Hey, real men understand when men are. Exactly. Real niggas understand when men are being bitches, bro. That's why Yende and I, we don't react to this. Y'all have these comments like it's really gonna bother us. Like, yo, you guys know that we call you out. Like that's what's good. Hey, fans or not, we gonna call you out. But it's educational because I want y'all to see the kind of mentality that's going on. So it's why not? What better way than just to show you the kind of nonsense these guys that they're bringing out? I don't care. Allende doesn't give a shit. You can say what you want because guess what? Just like some of these places say, oh, yeah, it's all shaming language when she's talking about who hurt you. Hey, you guys are doing the same thing. And you know what? We should do we should do we should do an episode on I won't say a full episode on it, but just to cover it. You guys use shaming language for dudes. So you want to talk about us who are having a healthy criticism about other dudes who are doing wrong and affecting your sons and your fucking daughters? And you're gonna sit there and call us fucking haters? Hey, shaming language 101, right? Haters, cloud chasers, all that stuff. You're no different from the fucking woman you criticize. So who the fuck are you to talk to us? Huh? Who the fuck are you? You're not gonna say it to my fucking face. You're not gonna say it to his face. Who the fuck are you? Come on now. Get out of here with that bullshit.
That's where they're in the comment. Listen, the comment section is always gonna be mostly got time to talk fucking shit. The people that like the shit the most usually don't even leave no fucking comment, bro. They just enjoy the shit, they take it and they apply it to their life.
That's why we got more views than fucking comments.
Yeah. That too.
Dude, and every day we'll keep getting more views. That's a crazy thing. So it's just like, go ahead, Jay.
I ain't worried about it.
No. Yeah, I mean, like, Allende, don't even worry about them because, like I said, people they do that to get a reaction out of people. And one of the masterful abilities I learned when I was in high school that still irritate people to this day is the art of ignoring.
Yep.
When I ignore you, you get more upset. As if you actually be more upset when I don't respond to you because you have nothing to say. And also they've developed a mentality that an acronym that I've actually come with. You guys have what I call ASW, which is basically attention-seeking whores.
Oh, you heard it. You heard it here first from Jay himself.
and guess what? I know you're gonna roast me in the comments.
Hey, you might just earn a panelist spot just for that, man. That was cool.
and hold on. And you know what else, guys? You know what they have called? You have what's called, all you people in the comments, you have what's called a Dunning-Kruger effect. It's called a cognitive bias where a person believes that they're smarter than they actually are.
Boom.
I know college grad students that are actually smarter than you idiots, which is stupid. And they're all black. and y'all talk like y'all in 5th grade.
It's funny, man. It's funny.
They trying to accept the narrative, and it's funny because the narrative is self-defeatist, man. That narrative tells you that you can't even
you shouldn't even try.
Right. That's why me personally, like I learned from a real young age, like my family, they didn't even tolerate that white supremacy narrative. Like my grandfather never cared shit about that. He was around when they was hosing motherfuckers down and sicking dogs on them and shit. He was there. He was a young boy in Martin Luther King times. But in his mind, a black man got to work twice as hard to be considered half as good. So his attitude would just be better than everybody else, and the shit won't even matter. And it's the truth. It's like, bro, you boxing yourself in with this bullshit, and it's like, you want to believe that bullshit narrative?
And it doesn't even take. Go ahead. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
I'm done.
Oh, I was gonna say it doesn't even take. It just takes a little bit more work, bro. That's it. You guys go work a little bit more than the average guy. Because the reason why. I would say the reason why I said a little bit more because the average guy really is just mediocre. A lot of people out here just playing fucking mediocre. So you do the little things just at least set you aside, set you apart from these guys, right? Actually fucking going out and working. You're slowly building that work ethic. That's what it is. It's a work ethic that a lot of people are missing. And the best way to do that is to build a routine. This shit's fucking easy, man. It's not even fucking funny. I wouldn't say easy. It's simple. It's simple because it's an easy concept to understand. It's a simple concept to understand. It's just a little difficult because a lot of people don't know how to implement that. But it's all about understanding that you must develop a routine. A routine keeps you grounded. And once you have that grounding, bro, it's easy to start building that discernment and understanding where you want to go.
I don't know why they say that to Skippy. Because
consistency, man. Consistency.
That's a good point.
He knows. Myron knows that change over time with consistency equals results. He knows that. So
Facts.
But why did you tell Skippy that? So if you didn't tell Skippy that, it wasn't because you didn't know that was the accurate advice. Is that you'd rather roast this motherfucker
because that was more entertaining.
It was for views.
Right.
It was for fucking views, man.
Because he doesn't really care about helping him.
Right. You want to entertain your low caliber of subs, which is the same
And they
reason
ate it
why
up.
it's the same reason why he opts to kick women out rather than have interesting classic dialogue. Like they're in a position to have classic dialogue. I'm talking about episodes that you can go back to 2 years from now and be like, damn, he told that chick what it was. She applied that, and that chick's been married for 1.5 years. Like
Boom.
she literally has the Fresh and Fit show episode that she was on to thank for her engagement. You know what I'm saying? Like
Because
he's not putting down classics, but instead he'd rather be like, hey, Fred Castle might come out. Hold on, let me ask the chat. Chat, what you think? Y'all wanted to leave? Like you'd rather
It's
do
a
that?
game
You'd
show.
rather
It's
do
a game
that.
show.
That's what I'm trying to say. You'd rather do that than actually leave a meaningful, you get what I'm saying, mark that's going to be there forever. It's going to be there forever.
Facts.
So just like he was saying, how are people going to remember you? Bro, when people look back on the Fresh and Fit podcast, they're going to be like, yo, this was some dumb shit. They're going to look back and be like, this was meaningless. Like, it was entertaining for the time, yes, but it was meaningless and useless to the community. It's like junk food. Junk food is like, yeah, it was delicious. It was, you know, you had the munchies or whatever. And at that time that you ate it, it was all good. But now you kind of got a stomach ache and you ain't get shit for your macros. You ain't get no goddamn protein.
And you're still hungry.
Yeah.
You didn't, you see what I'm saying? You didn't get no fiber. You didn't get, you see what I'm saying? You didn't get no vitamin C. You didn't get no useful
protein.
nutrition out of that meal. So it means nothing in the future. It means nothing moving forward, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's junk food that they're putting out, and what makes it the saddest is that they have such a setup to do something classic. Like
I'm gonna
every
tell you
night they're gonna
this.
be put down a classic.
Not for fucking long. I'm gonna just throw that out there right now. Not for fucking long. No, they're gonna be. I'm talking about the setup. I'm talking about the setup. Not for long. Y'all not gonna dominate for long. What you talking about, nigga? You think y'all the only ones that can do this shit? Oh, come on, man. When you bro, when I was watching this podcast, I was watching some of the older ones, right? Because you watch some of the older stuff even before we even got big, right? We're just watching some of this shit, and like Don, you have some. You always like, yo, I can't believe you're always watching this shit, because I knew one day, just like, yo, this shit's gonna be informational, right? You look at the stuff that they have, like the podcast, so not the content, like in terms of like how they do their stuff and work it, because business wise, listen, man, I don't take anything from them. Business wise, they understand the setup, they understand quality. But guess what? Just because y'all get it don't mean that other people can't. It's just the difference between us and you is we have substance. So, and one thing I want to argue on with your point, Allende, is I say when the future looks back at this, it's probably going to be worse than they think, because it's probably going to be on some Me Too shit, real talk. Like that's when niggas start looking back. They be like, hey, wait a minute now. What's happening here?
The way the YouTube game is going, YouTube is just going to become more and more about genuine talent and charisma. Because what's going to happen is the features are going to keep on advancing, and the technology is going to keep on getting more and more affordable. So being able to put on a quality podcast production-wise is going to become something more and more people can afford to do and have the ability to do. I mean, think about it. We didn't have StreamYard 5 years ago. I mean, StreamYard isn't even 2 or 3 years old. So I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like all these forms of technology, all these cameras, and also equipment,
and it's free.
Right. All this equipment is going to keep getting cheaper and cheaper. So at the end of the day, it's really, really going to come down to who's the most entertaining, or who's the most informative, or who's the most talented. It's going to come down to those personable skill sets, right? So I mean, that's what that is. So I mean, yeah, if you're gonna try and like dominate the market of like kicking bitches out and doing that type of shit, you know what? To me, that's a beautiful thing. And let's not forget, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what nobody's saying. I give that to them. So you welcome, you bitch niggas, because I gave that to them. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. The same way I gave it to them, I could give it to someone else. I could do it myself. And when others do it, like for example,
which they were scared out for a minute too. Myron was for real worried.
Because like, listen, when I get good and ready, this shit at the end of the day, it can't help but benefit me. Everybody's saying shit like, "Oh, Myron's winning, you losing." It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because first of all, I gave it to them as an experiment because I wanted to see how good the idea was and how well it would work. I've been thinking about it since 2017, and all they did was prove that I was right. Now, with that being said, doesn't change the fundamental, the aspects of our reality. That works in our reality. Okay, in this world, on this earth, in this dimension, that shit works to the extent that even these fucking idiots can't lose with it. Okay, so now what you're doing is you're setting the precedent and you're setting the contrast. So when I'm ready to do what I'm doing, it's only gonna play off of what you're doing as the opposite extreme. You're getting no results with these broads. I intend to do the opposite. I intend to, instead of kicking girls out, I'm gonna get inside of them.
Yep.
Right, and that's what's gonna be groundbreaking, and those gonna be those classics. And guess what? Those classics are gonna outlive that silly, goofy bullshit that you motherfuckers is doing. That's not even rewatchable.
Yep,
None of
and
that's
that's
rewatchable. You don't watch a Fresh and Fit episode twice. Whoever's telling me that they do is a fucking lie. You're a liar if you tell me you go back and watch a Fresh and Fit episode again.
We even look at the analytics here, just in comparison. Dude, we get a lot of people who come back, and even this live right now, where people who don't catch this live, they actually come back and rewatch the goddamn live, which is crazy. You can see all that in the analytics too. So it's like, yo, just because like you guys are sitting here commenting, like we as creators, we see the back end of things, man. So when sometimes when people ask, oh, why is this certain creator doing a certain thing, it doesn't make any sense. He's looking at the analytics. He's understanding what the vast majority of people who are following him and the new people who are pouring in following him, they understand what these people want to see, and they understand how to structure content. Fresh and Fit, what they've done is they've proven that, hey, in the red pill space, having women physically in a location and having these conversations works. However, they've gone through the bastardized the process to make it only accessible to guys who have these crazy toxic mentalities, who want to see vile, sick shit, because that's probably what happened to them or whatever the fuck, right? No, it's going to be a different perspective, because you're not going to want to see that shit twice. It's cringy. Real talk. It's entertaining, but it gets cringy later.
Not only that, honestly speaking, you don't even need to see it once. And what I mean by that is, if you miss it on the live, their shit is so fucking empty and void of any actual substance that you can sum it all up in the short. So, for example, after the episode is over, then when a few days go by, and then you see that little fucking 8-minute video where it says Myron kicks out 2 girls. Guess what? You catch that 8-minute video, there's no need to go back and watch the 2 hours, because
it's the same thing.
And it's the same as the previous episode. Yeah.
I'm gonna start this podcast. How much? What do you guys want in a man? How much money you wanted to make? How tall? And they just go in a circle, do the same thing, probably react to some videos, and that's it. They don't get deep. They don't talk about shit.
It's the same thing over and over again.
They ask women questions, right? For the same reason that I ask women, what exactly brought you to Tinder? I don't ask women what brought them to Tinder because I give a fuck about their answer. I ask them what brought them to Tinder because I want them to ask me what brought me to Tinder, so I can say that pussy. So they ask women questions for the same reason. They don't care what the woman's answer is. Myron just wants to get to his bullet points.
Yep.
That's why every episode's the same, because we already know what Myron's bullet points are. So the girls, what they have to say is it's immaterial, because nobody's even listening to what they got to say, because we're just trying to get to the part where Myron says, okay, so picture a guy goes into a candy shop. You see what I'm saying? Right. So the questions are all leading. The questions are all.
I would say this. I would say this though. I do like the candy shop analogy. It does. I like it. It makes sense to how they put that together. I'm just gonna be fair for you stands out there. It does make sense. However, no, I know we get your. I get your point, because it's like it's the same old tired shit. It's the same old tired shit. And you've been there backstage with them. Exactly. It's like, and then they go into to try to rebuttal the same process. It's like, guy, I'm done. I want to know why the circumstances that got into the situation she's in the first place. That way, when we dissect that, maybe the viewers who are watching could understand the perspective and maybe tie it or relate it to some girl who's probably went through the same thing in their personal lives, so they can make better decisions. But instead, you're pumping out a fucking narrative. How much do you make? This XYZ, right? And then you have these guys go out there, whoa, these girls are fucking 304s, gold diggers. That's all they want.
Well, you called him on the show. You called him on the show. What'd you think? Yeah.
You could have been like, I only want smart, professional broads on the show, and I want to figure out what went wrong.
I did that, and all they did was railroad them broads. They
Oh, that's
bring
right.
every girl down to
Hey
the same
guys,
denomination.
this is the guy that brought the girls. So there's a reason why they don't have the type of girls that they're looking for. Right here. There you go. There you go. That's all you need to see, man. All right. So we're gonna start closing this out, man. We're gonna start making something out. Hey, check out the links below. If not, click on his name, the @name, because we added him into it. So Allende, hey, do you want to go ahead and catch that full video of what we covered? I know we went through like maybe about 20 minutes of it, but not too in depth because obviously it's like covering them niggas. It's what's up, but we just wanted to get to the crux of it. However, there's a lot of important stuff in that video that you got. There's the reason why there's a part 1 and a fucking part 2, okay? Because there's a lot more detail in that if you guys didn't catch with the original beef, I mean, this is like going back for like the sequel essentially to what the fuck happened, man. So you definitely want to check that out. Go ahead, Ian, if you want to add something to that.
Also, when you go over there to my channel, some advice is go all the way down. Start from the beginning. Because there's so much game in them damn videos, bro. I'm just saying, self-praise ain't no recommendation. I'm just keeping it real with you. I got so many 5-10 minute videos in there that's so chocked full of game. It's a lot of fucking game on our channel. The problem is y'all only look at the recent videos and y'all only look at the shit that has something to do with something.
Can you tell them about that too? Because you actually have interviews with women, like one-on-one interviews, and they open up. I've seen a lot of that stuff too. It's like legit content, which is like, it's crazy that people call you.
Before that, there's game. Like even before that, there's nothing. When my channel was tips and whips, those tips is some strong tips, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, I tell you what, all y'all do y'all a favor. You gonna go over to my channel, right? Watch 3 5-minute videos, and then you decide whether or not there's hella game on there. Only gonna take you 15 minutes. So pick 3 videos that are 5 minutes or less, and you tell me if they ain't hella fucking game in there.
Yeah.
And if you say that there's not, you're lying. Because I watched it.
You're fucking lying. You're fucking. There's no way.
I rewatched this whole channel actually. I went for like 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks basically. I've been looked at this whole thing.
And it's a rewatchable game. When you get yourself in that situation, then you can go back to that topic and be like, let me watch this video because now I'm dealing with a chick that this is relevant. And you go back and I'm gonna get, you know what? I'm gonna get back to doing a few of those just for continuity. I can do some more of those type videos where it's just like 6-7 minutes on a specific topic, like interracial dating or whatever, something like that.
Yeah,
need that type of shit. Like you need that type of shit.
Oh, speaking of interracial dating, that's gonna be this Friday's episode too. So you don't want to fucking we're doing it this Friday. So we actually gonna do it because Friday we're doing a. We should do that. Black or white? Let's make it happen.
That one chick want to come on Megan. Her channel.
Oh, let's get her on. Let's get her on. Let's get her on. We'll get her, man. We're gonna have this conversation because a lot of people want to be tuning in for because we want to get to the bottom of this, man. Let's understand interracial dating. Why, first of all, why are men opting to date outside the race more often nowadays? And it's better to get into the crux of this conversation and try to understand it. But before the main show and before all that, we're gonna also have another show right before that too. We're gonna be talking to Coach White Pill, okay? And Coach White Pill, I think he's the godfather of the white pill. I'm not entirely sure, but we're gonna find that out on Friday too. All right, so we'll understand that, and then we're gonna understand. We're also gonna have another situation the following week, just talking about game. But in terms of like this game stuff that we're gonna be talking about, you just wait till the coming weeks, man. The whole thing's gonna be elevated. It's gonna be upgraded. Y'all gonna be getting so much information, man. Damn near bring a damn fucking pen and paper. So much to the point you're gonna be begging us to have more situations where we're probably gonna have to limit it to certain people, but it's gonna be crazy, right? We're gonna call it the Hall of Game. That's what it's gonna be called, the Hall of Game. You're gonna get real motherfucking champions up here talking about some real shit that y'all gonna learn. And guess what? All right, you don't have to super chat us to understand what's going on. Just show up. That's all you got to do. Just fucking show up, okay? Including your motherfucking stands, because y'all need it more than anyone else in this case, because y'all niggas running out here with no experience. So show up. Oh, you're welcome here. As long as you're not fucking disrespectful, you are welcome here. If anything, I want y'all to be here so y'all can understand the differences between what the fuck your false gods are teaching you and the new shit that you can learn. So hopefully you guys can get some actual critical information that can potentially help you fuckers out. But other than that, Allende, you have anything else you want to plug?
No, I'm out.
I'm out. All right. With that being said, for those of you guys who stuck with us for this long, I appreciate it, man. You guys are fucking
can I
awesome.
get one in? Can I get
Go
one in?
ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, y'all, I came on because I really wanted to talk about the Skippy situation. So it had me feeling some kind of way. Come check out, look up Primal Studies on YouTube. I did a 10-minute video breaking that down. Just go give that a look if you want to learn.
That's
a little
Primal,
bit about
by the way.
Yeah. If you want to get some about the Skippy situation,
Wait,
watch
what?
my 10-minute video.
What's the hold on, spell out the channel real quick.
Yeah, just Primal Studies, PRIMAL studies.
Oh, you said Primal Studies.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. Just
So
go
when
look at that.
when y'all see Primal in the chat, that's Primal
me.
right here.
Yep.
Right.
And a big shout out to everybody in the chat, all the real ones. I see the same folks in there, always being up and active. Appreciate you. So keep it up.
Y'all keep
Much
it
love
live,
to you.
man. I appreciate it. Y'all do
but
keep it live.
Show some love to Skippy. That dude could use it.
Yeah. Hey, reach out to him. Let him know that, hey, we want you over here. We go, hey, Allende is dying to transform you, bro, because he thinks there's a lot of potential, Skippy. Seriously. And we think there's a lot of potential in you, too. You just don't need to be going on a show to get fucking badgered and you have your insecurities fucking ripped apart in front of thousands of people. I don't think anyone deserves that. But if you're talking about true, actual lessons to help people, that's honestly the kind of way you want to go, man. You want to talk to people who are actually going to put you in the forefront and give you constructive advice, not sit there and tear you down for views. All right. You want to talk about clout chasing? There you fucking go right there. The people who want to tear you down for views, dumb niggas right there. We're not going to do that, bro. We're going to fucking help you. We're going to coach you and get you on the right fucking path. All right. With that being said, you guys, thank you so much. Hey, I'm going to let you know right now, as I was doing this, hey, Thursday's video, we're gonna change it up a little bit. We're probably gonna do something on finance. It's gonna be like a money related one. But next week though, we're gonna start exposing these crazy female frauds. And I see you, CJOJ in there. Thank you. I'm gonna just comment on your comment real quick. Hey, I don't know what you mean badly about black women. However, there's gonna be some serious criticisms. I think you're referring to our interracial dating show. I don't know what you consider talking about badly about black women, but you obviously understand we don't shit on women over here. We just tell the straightforward truth. You've seen the difference between us and trolls who shit on women and attack women in the chats. All right, we're not gonna do that. We need to.
She already trying to dodge the truth.
You see what I'm saying? So we're trying to make sure that a lot of y'all know this. So it's not criticizing. If you think criticizing is degrading black women, I don't know what else to tell you. But the show's gonna go on, CJ, and I want you to be there because we fucks with you, girl. And you know it. You know it.
Criticizing black men, though.
You see what I'm saying? We'll destroy black men, but black women, you dare not be criticized. Hey, CJ, you might not want to tune in for next week's live stream. You don't want to tune into that because if you want to talk about this Friday, next week, I'm gonna go all in because there's some foul ass. And some of them are black women who are coming out here straight taking advantage of men out here talking about pretending to fall in love and all that shit so they can take their money and divorce rape them. Nah, man, we ain't doing that. We gonna have to call these motherfuckers out too because some of these young men and some of these boys who could be your sons or your brothers or your uncles or your fathers or whatever it is who are out here being finessed by these men, by these women out here, and they're out here hurting men. They're out here helping perpetuate the next cycle of FreshandFit stance. That's what it is.
Yeah,
so I'm sorry. If you want to have a serious fucking conversation about it and stop this mess, both sides need to be criticized. So I don't want to see you talk about it because it's not just you, CJOJ. All right, there are other women who come to our Instagram platform and all this stuff talk about you guys are so harsh on women. It's like, are you really kidding me? I think we're harsher on men than we are on women. But however, women need to get the smoke too. Y'all need to hear this shit. Real talk. I don't want my daughters coming out here listening to Cardi B's and Megan Thee Stallions. We're done with the BBLs. We're done. It's over with. New era. Take it easy, y'all. See y'all on the next stream, for real.